I should probably write this down.
Yeah, you never know what's gonna happen. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Funkotopia Live. I am your host, Mr. Christopher, and this right here, this man over here is the man with the plan, Michael Bland in the house.
Yes.
WTF?
Yeah, I got mine too. Yeah, right. I'm always slow on the draw, man.
That's okay.
And then I got to figure out the backwards imaging and.
You got it all figured out. Man. We hadn't even started the night, and this is the pre-show for those who are just joining us. I don't think any of you folks are new, but in case there are some new folks that are here, this is the live pre-show. So stay with us. The official show starts at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And man, how was your weekend, Michael?
My weekend was pretty good, man. I've just been, in a lot of preparation for shows that I have coming up. So it's not to I'm not trying to butt in line and get going with the promo, but
man,
that's what I've been doing, just preparing for the Together show on Saturday, April 19th. And also, I have a show this Friday. It's the Pure Soul show with my band Urban Classic. That's right. Go ahead, man. You got the graphics together. All right, man. Yeah. Help me move these tickets, brother. Yeah. So that's gonna be hot. We're gonna be playing a lot of really good music from the 60s. Pretty much 1970 is the cutoff. So don't come asking for I don't know who. I don't know. I can't even think right now.
So if you guys are up in that area, that's this Friday. If you guys happen to be in driving distance of Minneapolis, man, head up to Nicollet Mall and see Michael Bland. He's going to be there live in person, hanging out and doing whatnot.
Yep, with some of the best musicians around. Barbarella's on the keyboards with me. We got the legendary Johannes Top Dollar Tona on bass. He plays with Corey Wong, and he's also basically, like a superhero in Ethiopia. When he goes home, he's like Superman. Yeah, Johannes.
I didn't know that. Wait, Barbarella is playing at the show this Friday?
Yeah, this is Urban Classic. This is our band, man. Me and Barbarella, we tight, man.
Okay,
we're tight. We work together as often as we can because we know how to tag team when it comes to arranging music, putting the things together. Yeah, he's heavy on orchestration. Tommy's no joke, man. I mean, he's the best co-music director I could hope for. So together we bring it down, man.
Then, of course, the Together show on April 19th. Mm-hmm. I will be there for that one. I will be there for. I've already got the ticket. I've got the plane ticket. I've got the rental car. I just don't have the hotel locked down yet. I'm like,
all right.
I don't know. May find a couch somewhere. I don't know. I mean, let's see what size rental car it is. I mean, it's only one night.
Yeah, but don't sell yourself short, man.
No, it's like we're gonna have a good time.
Don't get a hatchback.
I've done. Those days are gone.
Well, all right.
Together, April 19th, Saturday. That's going to be in Hopkins, which is southwest of Minneapolis, and that's going to be a fun show. Again, Michael Bland, Tommy Barbarella, Levi Caesar Jr., Dr. Fink of the Revolution, Homer Odell, Rick Kinchin from Mint Condition.
Oh, yeah.
G Sharp, JB, Ashley Commodore, the UC Horns. I think somebody asked, is Ashley Commodore related to Brandon? Do you know?
Yes, she is. That's her brother.
That's her brother. There you go.
Yes. They're both extremely talented. I love them both to death.
and you can get tickets for this show. You can get tickets for this show by just going to funkotopia.com/NPG. Again, funkotopia.com/NPG will take you there. And you can check that out. Yeah, I know. So a lot of people have been, first off, before I get into this, we're still in pre-show mode here. And we got some time here. And I want to make sure that I cover some stuff. First off, I'm going to skip ahead. We've had we had some big wins this week. Funkotopia has. First off, the biggest win of all for Funkotopia is that a few weeks ago, Michael Bland became the official co-host of Funkotopia Live. I mean, that is the biggest win that there is. Okay,
Yes.
We'll start there.
Indie face, yes.
Yes, yeah, absolutely. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I forgot to play that. Hold on a second. Hold on. Yeah, I got something. Hold on.
That's right, man. Now you know what I'm doing. Now everybody knows what I'm doing. Yes, in the face.
Anyways, so as you can see, well, first off, we had there's a user on YouTube by the name of Kyle Good 2622. Kyle Good 2622. I don't know if you're in here or not. I see a lot of people online here, but he was our 5,000th subscriber to Funkotopia YouTube channel. Okay. 5,000 is not that big of a number. I started on YouTube way late. I wasn't really concerned. I was just wanted to make videos and whatnot. But 5,000 is an iconic number. So I figured it's good to draw attention to. And then today, Facebook, on our Facebook page, we just crossed 70,000 followers on the Facebook channel. So, I mean, to celebrate this momentous occasion, I put together a prize package. Remember last week we talked about, you got all this stuff that's, some that is bin worthy that we talked about, and also the duplicates and whatnot that are back there. Well, I went and pulled a bunch of duplicates, and let me just say, there's a lot.
Oh, watch out.
There's a lot. Now there's a couple things in here that are not duplicates. For instance, all right, let me just explain what this is for those who may be listening on audio tomorrow on Spotify, iHeartRadio, whatever. If you're not watching it or you happen to be listening to audio, here's basically what it is. I wanted to make sure that we celebrated some of these big moments, and so I put together this prize package, and all of the prizes that are in this picture are from my personal collection. I've put together this massive collection here and broken apart into 3 packages. Okay. The first package. So this is all 3 packages in one photo, okay. But the first place is Purple Rain on Laserdisc, which is a collectible.
Okay.
You can't get that anywhere. It's a tough find. Right. Batman on Laserdisc.
Oh yeah.
The New York Times Magazine special edition, The Prince We Never Knew, which you saw there. 1999, Prince's 1999 on vinyl, Controversy on vinyl, no poster in that, but still awesome. Prince and the Revolution Around the World in a Day on vinyl, Prince and the New Power Generation Cream 12-inch, that's new, that's still in the wrapper. Wendy and Lisa's Fruit at the Bottom.
So hot. Yes.
The Times debut album.
Can't whoop it, smoke it.
And the Times What Time Is It album. That's first place.
Equally as good, yes.
That's just one.
It doesn't whoop the first record, but it's as good as the first record.
That's right. Mm-hmm. The second place package is Jesse Johnson's Every Shade of Love.
Yes.
Jesse Johnson's Review on vinyl.
Uh-huh.
And the CD of Prince's 1999, CD of Prince's Come, CD of Prince's Musicology, CD of Chaos and Disorder, CD of Love Sexy, and a CD of Sign of the Times. That's second place. And the third place is all this is in the picture. You can find all this.
Yes, I'm looking, man. Yeah.
And then the third place is Earth, Wind, and Fire's All in All.
I see it.
On vinyl. The vinyl for Parliament Funkadelics, Clones of Dr. Funk.
That is Clones. I was wondering which one that was. That's Clones.
Yeah. Sue-Ann's Blue Velvet.
Blue Velvet, yes.
The debut album from Jody Watley.
Wow.
Madam X.
I don't know what that is, but I bet
Hail Bernadette Cooper. Bernadette Cooper.
Oh, watch out.
Bernadette Cooper. That is her side project, Madam X. Obviously, she did Climax, but she had that side project, Madam X, which was one of the most incredible albums ever, Madam X. The CD of Erykah Badu's Worldwide Underground, and a CD of Eminem's Recovery, and CD of Wendy and Lisa's Are You My Baby. 3 prize.
That's a smorgasbord right there, man. That's
it's a lot.
That's pretty good.
And all of these are duplicates, which is ridiculous. So here's how you would get an entry for this. Each entry to this is $5. Essentially, you donate $5, you get 1 entry. And if you donate $20, you get 4 entries, et cetera, et cetera. However, if you become a Patreon supporter at patreon.com/Funkotopia, you'll get twice the entries. So if you join for $5, you get 2 entries instead of 1 if you just did basic donation. So that's basically how it works. So if you want to do one-time donation, that's cool. You can do Cash App at $Funkotopia, Venmo at Funkotopia, and then, of course, Patreon is patreon.com/Funkotopia, and you get twice the entries, so whatever it is. So if you do a $10 version, you get 4 entries, et cetera, et cetera. But essentially, I'm going to be doing the drawing next week, actually, on, well, see, here's the thing. I said April 8th, but I may, because technically we're going to be off next week.
Okay.
Well, because we're going to talk about that in a second, too.
Oh, sure. Oh, right.
Because we actually have some really exciting news for you guys too, because even if we take next week off, we're going to have some fun when we return on the 15th, but we may be back on the 8th. We don't know. But anyways, if you would like to participate in that raffle, again, Cash App is $Funkotopia, Venmo is at Funkotopia, and then patreon.com/Funkotopia will get you 2x the entries if you sign up for that. And of course, we'll actually be doing the drawing probably Tuesday on the 8th, but check it out. I think I may have. Yeah. So on this support Funkotopia thing, this has got all the crawls on it. If you donate via any of those things, you're going to be entered in the raffle. And on top of that, Patreon supporters who are already members of Patreon, you guys are already getting entries. So don't worry about it. So you don't have to do anything. If you're a Patreon supporter already, you're already getting the entries without doing anything. Okay.
Cool.
So you're good. You don't have to do anything. Mm-hmm. So it's just my way of saying thank you. Appreciate the support. And for anybody that's new, please jump on, because obviously, as you can see, Funkotopia is quite a ride.
That's right.
For sure. It's fun to ride. Oh, and as you may notice, the shirt, people have been asking me about this shirt, and we did 2 broadcasts and people were like, new shirt, where's the new shirt? Mm-hmm. Well, guess what? The new shirts are here.
Yes.
So this is already in the store right now, Funkotopia.com/shop. So if you go to Funkotopia.com/shop, you can get the black on black shirt here. And on top of that, it's also available in a bunch of other colors too. Black, this one that's got design on white, also got the heather purple. The heather purple is the one that's kind of got, it's not just one solid color. It's got that it's kind of like a mesh of colors, but
yeah,
the heather purple, white, and then purple that you're seeing there. And what's cool about this is that the shirts are only $20 and it's free shipping. Everything in the Funkotopia store is free shipping, no matter no minimum order. So Funkotopia.com/shop, you can get that. And if that's not enough, we also have Uptown Radio shirts as well. So if you want Uptown Radio shirts, you can get the one with the big logo. That only comes in white and the heather gray, or you can get the one that has the pocket logo on it as well. So there's a couple different ones that you can do there, and that's also at Funkotopia.com/shop. So that's all that covered in a very, very short period of time for sure. Oh, and I think we did have one more announcement. Let me see if I've got that ready to go. As I mentioned, I got a couple more Funkotopia announcements. I hope that you guys are okay with me doing these Funkotopia, because I mean, these Funkotopia announcements.
Yes, there's always more to tell.
They're pretty badass.
Yeah.
As you know, for those who don't know, we have an app called Funked Up, and you can download that Funked Up app, and it is a 24/7 funk radio station that's free. And it's ASCAP licensed also. So it's an ASCAP licensed radio station. And on top of that, we also have a 24/7 Prince radio station as well. And there's another radio station that's behind the Patreon wall that you can only get to as a Patreon supporter. But if you become a Patreon supporter, you get the password and you can get right in.
Yeah.
And on that Uptown Radio Plus, which is what that logo is that you saw on that t-shirt, Uptown Radio Plus, that is the Patreon supported radio station. As you know, in the past, we've done Prince-giving, which is when we play all of Prince's music in chronological order. And then we also did Prince-mas, where we play a bunch of concerts from Prince during Christmas time. And a lot of people were asking, are we going to be doing anything on April 21st, that week of April 21st, during his transition week on Uptown Radio Plus? And the answer is yes, we are. So if you're a Patreon supporter, you will have access to Uptown Radio Plus, because starting on April 18th at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we'll be playing all of Prince's music completely in alphabetical order. It takes almost 4.5 days to do it. It's 1,200 songs. Over 1,200 songs. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. So that's going to be happening on April 18th at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on the ASCAP licensed Funked Up radio station, calling the Transition Celebration A to Z. So you definitely want to tune in for that as well. And that's going to be a lot of fun. And finally, the last piece of information before we get into our topic du jour, which is talking about Prince's legacy. As I just mentioned, as of right now, next Tuesday, April 8th, we're going to be off, but I still got to come on and do the raffle drawing. So we may do a small free for all that day anyways. But when we might do a small free for all next Tuesday, along with the raffle drawing for the raffle. But when we return on the 15th, we got another amazing interview for you that we're going to be pre-recording between now and then. So you need to tune in on the 15th as we welcome the one and only Mono Neon to the show.
Man.
So let me just say, there's too much going on. Let me just say, it's just too much. It's just too much.
Yeah. All right. Well, you put the little bland in the mix, and everything is everything's moving, man. I'm like disinfectant. I chase away the germs and whatnot. I make way for new life. Here so we go, man.
So just know that interview will be pre-recorded, because I guess he always pre-records his interviews because he never knows if he's gonna. I don't know why, but he always pre-records his interview. So we are going to pre-record that, and we'll air it on the 15th. So it's going to be great. Once again, Funkotopia, hard at work, doing shite.
That's a lot, man. That's a lot. I don't see how anybody could poke any holes in that, man. The agenda is moving forward.
Yeah, I mean, and just because we're pre-recording it doesn't mean that you guys can't ask questions. I will post it on Facebook, so you guys can go ahead and Twitter, so you guys can go ahead and post your questions. Just don't even bother asking about Black is the New Black, because that question is going to be one of the first ones out of my mouth. So, and for those who don't know what Black is the New Black is, it is a album that Prince and Mono Neon worked on right before Prince's passing. That is sitting in the vault. And I think there was one song that made it off of that. With a Tough Enough, I think is the name of the song that made it off. But anyways, yeah, you can ask your questions, but don't even bother asking that one. That one's gonna, yeah. So yeah, of course that's gonna. Kyle, there's our 5,000th YouTube subscriber right there, man.
All right,
there he is. What's up, Kyle? Mr. 5,000. Man, thank you for joining us, man. Yeah, and I will. We're gonna talk about the sock and everything else.
Well, why not? I mean, I've never seen him in an interview before. Actually,
I've seen like a little snippet, but they're always like really quick clips, and I don't know if they're like portions of a larger thing. But well, rough enough. Thank you, Gustavo.
I will say that I mean, the only time I really got to meet him and sort of work with him was when we did the tribute to Prince at the Excel Center.
Oh.
Yeah. And he wasn't the most talkative person, so I'm going to be curious to see if he's really as introverted as he seems, or is it
I think he's one of these people that just really opens up and really kind of will get loose if you get him in the right zone. And
like we did Fink the other
right. and that's what we do.
Okay, well, fine. Then I guess we just agitate him until he admits something he doesn't want to.
Yeah, right. That's
Yes.
All right. Let's move into the show, shall we? Welcome to Funkotopia Live. Obviously, I'm your host, Mr. Christopher. This is Michael Bland, drummer extraordinaire. And tonight it's a topic. It's a really, really big topic. We're talking about Prince's legacy, what's been done, what we think can be done, what we can do, if anything. I mean, there's a lot. I mean, when I say we, I'm talking about all y'all, not just Michael Bland and I, everyone that's here, because there's been a lot of stuff that is going on, and I know you guys have a lot of questions, so and a lot of things to say. I mean, it's kind of tough to figure out exactly where to start on in a topic like this. I'm going to go with an obvious. I'm going to go with an obvious start, just to kind of go ahead and get it out of the way, and let's just get it out of the way, and let's just talk about the celebrations, not the celebration coming up, but the celebrations. First off, you've never been to a celebration, have you?
Me? No.
Yeah. No.
And I don't mean to say it so.
No, I get it. I get it.
But I've different people have told me different things, and some people really like it, but a lot of people have given a lot of constructive criticism about it.
Yeah.
But generally, I had this conversation actually with a couple of my cohorts and whatnot. They're like, you should go out there, and I'm like, I don't feel it. It's a different environment now. Imagine spending as much time as you spend at your home somewhere else, and then coming back there, and you're just like anybody else holding a ticket in line waiting to get in.
Right.
It's not really. It's like, what? If I can't appreciate the place in freedom, then I'd rather not, because when he was there, you could go anywhere. You could do almost anything.
Exactly.
And I just don't want that confining experience to ruin, my memory of that place, which is, I literally spent years of time in that building.
Yeah, exactly.
So to go back and then have people going, well, you can't go in there. And it's not for me. It's not worth it to sully my memory of almost complete freedom, day or night. I would rehearse in the tech room sometimes if I had something going on. Like if I was doing a gig somewhere else, we put a couple of little amps in the tech room, and like I was in that place round the clock because you could make noise all the time.
That's always good too. Yeah, but and I can see it. I obviously can see how you would feel some sort of way. It's just like, man, I know every inch of this place. I don't, you're not going to treat me like a tourist. We're good. We're good. I get it.
Being equal, people got jobs to do and whatnot. And I don't mean to, I'm not trying to butt in front of line. I'm not trying to get something no one else has gotten. It's just the standards for my access have changed. And so it's cool. You do things the way you need to do them. I don't want anybody bending over backwards for me. It's just things are not the way they were. And that's fine. Yeah. I got it. No, and it's understood. And before I get into talking a little bit about celebration stuff, I did have to put up this crawl to make sure that it's well understood that Funkotopia Live is not endorsed or affiliated with Prince, Paisley Park, or the Prince Estate. All commentary here is just us talking. That's it. That's it. We don't give them free press.
we don't get paychecks, nothing.
No.
So admission tickets, passes, we get jack.
This is all run on blood, sweat, and tears. Mostly tears, apparently.
And just so we're clear too, I know that you guys there was a bunch of people that actually had a lot of questions for Michael, and we will get to those questions. I am starring them for you, Michael, so that you can.
Okay, I didn't want to jump ahead of you, bro. I'm learning.
So we're gonna try to do our best to stay on topic, and then we'll move. We'll definitely make sure, because I understand that part of having Michael here is you guys are going to have questions for him. I got it. I totally understand. So we will start those questions, and obviously if something, figures a way to segue itself in, cool, we'll do that. But we got you. We got you, folks. We got you. We're not ignoring you. So don't feel like you. Anyways, so let's talk about the celebration stuff. First off, been multiple posthumous celebrations done. The first one was in 2017. Posthumously. We're talking posthumously because we want to talk about moving Prince's legacy forward. Yes, there was a celebration that was done prior, but we're talking about now that he's gone, now that he's no longer with us, what's being done, what can we do? And here's what they have been doing. He died April 21st, 2016. And by the time they got to winter, Paisley Park was doing tours again. Yeah, which, some people said, oh, that was just too soon. We were all grieving. But, on the flip side of that, staying dormant was not going to work either. That doesn't help anything to help keep his memory alive. And I think a lot of people were wanting to find an opportunity to kind of go out and pay their respects anyways. And since then, obviously, they've had a bunch of celebrations. They've had 6 celebrations here, 6. In 2017, they've had the Revolution, Morris Day on the Time, New Power Generation. 2018 was Sheila E., F Deluxe, aka The Family, and Prince live on the big screen, which was really, really cool. You didn't get an opportunity to see that, but they took a concert and they put it up, and they had the full live band playing along with the concert video. So pretty much the live band was playing the concert. Everything was pulled out except for his vocals, and obviously some other things that, weren't present on the stage. It was really, really cool whether they did that. 2019, they had Jesse Johnson, The Revolution, and Funk Soldiers, which was a culmination of, it was Shelby J, and it was a bunch of people in there. And then the live on the big screen again. 2020, 2021, we had the pandemic. 2022, they came back with Brown Mark Nation. There was some Maserati folks in there too. Tony Christian as well, and Prince live on the big screen. But this time it was with NPG's Glam Slam show, the one that they just released. Was it last year?
Right.
And it was done with, and that was pretty phenomenal.
Yeah.
2023, Stokely, Sounds of Blackness, Shelby J, DJ Denice, DJ Rashida, and members of MPG. And then last year, The Revolution at First Avenue, Morris Day, and NPG, the combo we didn't know we needed to celebrate the 40th anniversary of Purple Rain. And now, here we are, 2025. We're literally 2 months out. June 5th is when this is supposed to start. We know nothing. No ticket sales, no anything, no lineup announcement. But again, I've already named off the people that were in the previous celebration. So who do you put in there? Who do you put in for this, what they're deeming or as Purple Rain 2.0? We kind of talked about this. And listen, I know it's about making money, but you'll make money no matter what you do, online, in stores, on Amazon, at the movie theaters, like they did with the Purple Rain re-release, the digital re-release and stuff. You're going to make money. You want to do that kind of stuff that applies to everybody, every Prince fan, whether or not they're kind of a little bit of a Prince fan or just, saw him in concert one time, blah, 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 or they're hardcores. That's how you're going to do it. You're going to put it out there. But I kind of feel like when it comes to the celebration, I kind of feel it's completely different. You're missing it. They're missing what the celebration is supposed to be. And we spoke about this last week and the week before, that the people who are spending that kind of money are not fair weather fans. They are not Purple Rain 2.0. Last year's admission price to the celebration was $600 for general admission, $1,200 for VIP. And we won't get into everything that I've heard about the VIP experience last year. That's off topic. It's just a lot of, anyways, the point of it, it's a lot of money. Those people, the people dropping that kind of money on top of airfare, which is hundreds of dollars, and internationally, I mean, forget it. You're talking about thousands or whatever. The hotel going to be $150 a night times 4 or 5 nights. I mean, at best. Rental car, that's a few hundred. Food while you're there. I mean, you're talking about it's hundreds and hundreds, thousands of dollars, actually, thousands. And I can guarantee you that one of the things that you will never hear those people say that are spending that kind of money is, gee willikers, I can't wait to see Purple Rain again. That's not what's happening. You know what I'm saying? So, anyways, we're here 2 months away from the celebration, no nothing. And I'll stop talking and give you an opportunity to kind of say whatever you want to say, but I will support the estate. I want to make sure that I make this clear. I will state, we're going to support you. We're going to support you. We're going to help. And I realize that there's been missteps along the way, and that's okay. But, and I think that they want to do the right thing. I'm sure. And I know there's been some entanglements with legal stuff with the Netflix, hoo-ha and all this stuff, but there are tons of other things at play here. And what really bums me out is this slide here. Let me see if I got this slide. This slide here.
Oh boy.
This slide here. This is representative of 2025. This year. 40th anniversary of Around the World in Today. 35th anniversary of Graffiti Bridge. 30th anniversary of NPG Exodus. Thank you, Michael. 30th anniversary of the Golden Experience. Thank you, Michael. The Family's 40th anniversary. The 35th anniversary of the Times Pandemonium, and the 40th anniversary of Sheila E.'s Romance 1600. That's what 2025 represents. That right there. This is it. This is 2025. This is it. So
wow,
that's a lot. And your celebration attendees know their Prince music, the hits, the B-sides, the remixes, the deep tracks, the unreleased tracks, and you being the estate keep missing that very, very important detail. And really, in all honesty, from the moment that they said Purple Rain 2.0, they painted themselves into a corner. Because I've already said it. I can't think of anything else they can do Purple Rain wise. And you've got all this that you're just what apps.
Here's what it just sort of ran through my head is that their process is counterintuitive. The real fans, the ones who are going to pay top dollar just to get in the vicinity, the real, which fans I'm talking about, the ones who are paying those prices,
right?
They want to get in the nooks and crannies. They want to hear stuff they haven't heard before. They want to see things they've never seen. I mean, and it seems to me like that's what the VIP experience should be about.
Right.
Is a whole other level of we're going deeper into it, not pay more for what common folks have already experienced. I mean, more or less,
Yeah.
But I do understand. It's they're probably looking at it well, why would you do anything other than the most popular thing he's ever done? If you're trying to, draw the multitudes, that's one thing. But for the type of money that they're asking for, I mean, I would think the more money you spend, the bigger fan you are. And the bigger fan you are, the more you're probably interested in real, something beyond the surface, beyond the, beyond the expected.
I mean, I think they did exactly what they were supposed to do last year for the Purple Rain 40th celebration. The estate did a great. Okay, I wasn't a huge fan of the Morris Day and NPG. I love everybody in NPG. I know all of them. Every single one of the NPG members' phone numbers are in my phone. I love all those guys. I don't have any issues with any of the bands. But I kind of felt like that was the only part that was okay, that's fine. But you got the Revolution, that First Avenue, you put Purple Rain in 4K at movie theater with tons of Prince. It was fun. It was fun. Were there some missteps? Yep. They had some issues with the VIP stuff, I guess, from what I hear. I wasn't in VIP.
Okay.
But I mean, so now again, here we are in 2025, and all of this is happening this year, 2025. All of this is happening, and we're just not, it's like this is an afterthought. And I left that graphic up there, but I want to point out that it's not just the estate that's doing it. The estate, it's kind of like everything. It's just everything in totality. For instance, here's another example. The official Prince store. Many of you, if you're on the list, on the mailing list, you got this email yesterday of them sending you to the store to celebrate the anniversary of Sign of the Times. The 38th anniversary of Sign of the Times. Not an iconic 25, 30, 35, 40. It's the 38th of Sign of the Times. And so I get it. You got inventory. But it's like all of the pieces are just avoiding all of this. It's like they're just not, okay, what about these? Okay, I'm gonna make it worse. You want to make it worse? I'm gonna make it worse. Here's worse. And this is going to be interesting because this is okay. Estate, you heard what I had to say. You know what the celebration attendees are willing to dish out in order to be there. You know that they are not your fair weather fans. Again, you can do Purple Rain till it rains purple. It doesn't matter. But do it in the stores, do it in Amazon, do it online, do it in the theater, do it wherever you got to do it, where everybody is. But these people that are coming to Minneapolis or Chanhassen and spending thousands of dollars to be there, you're wrong people. And let me just say, Estate, if you're watching, I want you to pay attention because 2026 is just around the corner. It's going to come a lot faster than you think. And 2026 is going to be representative of this. Are you guys ready? If anybody else State, go ahead and screen capture this shit. Here we go. 45th anniversary of Dirty Mind, 40th anniversary of Parade, 35th anniversary of Diamonds and Pearls, 30th anniversary of Chaos and Disorder, 30th anniversary of Emancipation, 25th anniversary of the Rainbow Children, and the 20th anniversary of 3121. All of that is happening next year.
That's controversy. That's not Dirty Mind.
Controversy. I'm sorry. I said Dirty Mind. Sorry. I was reading somebody's text. Somebody said
and I was looking like where? Yeah,
somebody posted something about Dirty Mind. That's the reason why I say that's my bad. Sorry, y'all stop talking.
No, man. That's quite a bit for next year. My goodness,
that's all happening next year, and every single year that happens from here moving forward, and it's been going on. I could do this for every single year. From here until the end of eternity, every single year is going to create a wealth of 30th, 20th, 25th, 45th, 50th is coming real soon. 50th is coming in 2028. The 50th anniversary of For You is coming.
Oh boy.
So, right. And thank you, Gustavo, because also next year is the 10-year anniversary of his passing.
It's like he planned it from beyond from beyond the hinterlands.
So you want to talk about how important next year is going to be for Prince fans? And again, not just first off, even the fair weather fans that like a song or two off of the radio were affected by Prince's death.
Absolutely.
I don't know a lot of people that weren't affected, even if they weren't really, really big fans. They still looked at it and were like, God, dude, that sucks. That's
because whether you liked his music or not, you knew how good he was. You know what I mean? It's like there's a lot of people who, took exception to him for one reason or another, but nobody ever was just like, oh, Prince sucks, man. No, I can't stand it. It was like, whoa, that dude's kind of different and interesting. It's not my thing.
Exactly. Yeah.
It's like, whoa, that guy really is doing something.
Right.
He was always that positive nuisance,
and I mean, let's just face it. I mean, we're looking at all these that are supposed to be hitting next year. I can tell you which one the estate is going to focus on, regardless of anything that anybody says. And it rhymes with grenade. That's what they're going to be focusing on out of this mix, because there's also a movie tied to this as well. It's Parade and Under the Cherry Moon, both of which could be packaged together in some form or fashion. I mean, I know that there was some issues with Under the Cherry Moon because it changed hands a bunch of times with distributors or whatever. I don't remember what the story was, but that's a lot. It's just a lot, dude. It's so much.
Said they're going to give us the same damn Syracuse show in 4K. Oh man, I play that Syracuse show like it's an album. It's just in the,
it's great.
One of those things you just kind of go back to.
It's legendary. But just the fact of the 10-year anniversary of his passing is the most iconic point of next year if they're going to be paying attention, because it affects everybody, fair weather fans and the hardcore fans. Obviously hardcore fans more than others, but it affects everybody, and it is an iconic time. And if you kind of think a little bit outside the box, maybe just a hair, maybe think about moving the celebration back to April, if just for 2026. Yeah, I get weather be damned, because you've never experienced Minneapolis until you've experienced Minneapolis with snow and cold. So, and here's the reality of it. Sometimes it snows in April. And let me tell you, I guarantee you, if they did it in April, something would happen. It would be magic. I guarantee you. But Prince already said multiple times, he said he wants people to celebrate when he dies. He didn't want people to celebrate his birthday. He wanted to celebrate it when he passed, which would be April 21st. And on the 10-year anniversary, it doesn't matter if it's cold. Yeah, we get it. You want to be nicer weather for the people who come. Okay, it's Minneapolis, dude.
I never knew he said that. That's that gives me a little more not ammunition, but it's like it makes me feel better about doing the Together show always in April. Just for me, it was like, damn, it's much more important to just celebrate. Not the fact that he's gone, but he transitioned, and he did something in the world that really mattered,
Right. So I just think it's just opportunities that I think are just missed. And I kind of feel like, and I thought we're going to get a little bit of idea of what was happening with, because I guess Paisley Park, was this today or yesterday? Paisley Park sent out an email that said, Paisley Park loves the color 2025 summer tours. And it basically says, step into Prince's world and celebrate 41 years of Purple. Oh, this is the verbiage I saw too. Step into Prince's world and celebrate 40 years of the Purple Rain tour. Not Purple Rain, the Purple Rain tour. So that, I guess that's how that's the justification of the 40 years. So the tour, okay. But that was the second leg of the tour, wasn't it? I think I don't know. I think anyways, it doesn't matter. It's celebrating 40 years of the Purple Rain tour, and the groundbreaking around the world in a day. And so I did click on it. I wanted to see, just out of curiosity, is there, because they said it was going to be, the celebration 2025 is going to be part at Paisley Park and part in downtown Minneapolis, like they did last year. And I was curious and last year you could buy tickets to tours on specific days, so you could see what days they were going to be there. But I looked, and of course, those are all blocked out. They could be sold out too, but that yellow line here between June 5th and June 9th, that's yellowed out. There's nothing there. So either it's sold out or they're blocking Paisley Park during the celebration. So it's just, anyways, that's kind of what we know. I mean, anyways, enough celebration talk. Unless you feel like there probably should be. Do you want to tie a bow on this? I don't know.
My only thing is we're kind of at the point where we need to probably just have Lundell on the show.
I've invited him. I've invited him and Charles.
Come on, man. Let's just. Can we get together on it?
Can't we all just get along? Isn't this going to be? I mean, hate to be cliche, right. But come on now.
Yeah. All right. Well, I mean, I don't know if I've ever actually met Lundell. I've spoken to him. He was plenty cordial on the phone. Asked me to do some interviews around the time that the Diamonds and Pearls box set came out.
Cool.
Yeah. I just wasn't. I wish something else could have happened in support of that release. But
I've spoken with him a few times in person. I've met him and spoke with him a few times. Most of the times all the times I've met him were at the celebration, and he had feedback about the show, and just a little bit of banter back and forth. It's like, here's, we can help. We can certainly help what you're doing, but you're not asking. So, okay. And then on the same, I feel like there's obviously a lot going on in the background that we'll never be aware of. We're just never going to be aware of what's happening. But I've spoken to both Londell and Charles at length, one-on-one, in person, right in front of them, face-to-face at a table. And we've had in-depth discussions about a lot of things that, I wasn't aware that was going on in the background. But I think right now, with people's frustration level, there needs to be a little bit more transparency, and it can kind of, take away some of that pressure, I'd imagine. I mean, I don't know.
Well, I mean, yeah. I mean, if it's going to be annual, then you'd think that they could put things together in advance and let the fans know what they're actually going to experience. When, you know what I mean? It just seems like, it's like, why keep everybody in suspense?
Yeah, the celebration thing is a mystery to me, because the fact that tickets have not gone on sale, and we're literally 2 months out. This June 5th, right? It was April, May, June. Yeah, 2 months out. 2 months and 3 days before this thing is supposed to start, and they haven't even sold ticket one, nor do we know anything.
I mean, who knows what the logic might be? Maybe it's just swagger. We're not in a
swagger.
We're in we know they're coming.
I mean, but we don't
be taking for granted that the audience will appear.
Yeah, I mean,
and they will, but it's not because of them. It's because they want to see Prince's legacy continue. They want to support. Yeah. So I mean, I don't know.
But there has been some positive things. Let me just go ahead and say, I want to cover a couple of positive things, because I don't want people to feel like I'm estate bashing, because that's not what's happening here. I'm just kind of being a little bit of a communicator of sorts, to kind of, you are hearing what I've just kind of said is everything that everybody is telling me or saying to me on the phone and in the emails and DMs and stuff. And it's like, okay, I'm putting it all together, and I'm going to deliver it to you as it's being said to me. And most of everything that I've said, I agree with. So there's nothing that I've said that I'm contesting at all.
Yes, of course.
But a couple of days ago, Paisley Park did also announce this event called A Day to Reflect, A Night to Remember, on April 21st, 2025. Now, on April 19th, if you saw during the pre-show, we're doing the Together show. Michael Bland, Tommy Barbarella, Levi, Dr. Fink of the Revolution. It's going to be a Together show in Hopkins, Minnesota on April 19th. I will be there also. And then there's a party after that. There's DJ Dudley D is doing an event, and I think there's some other events that are happening as well.
Sure.
But then on Monday, on the 9th anniversary of Prince's passing, they're doing this, which is called A Day to Reflect, A Night to Remember, and it basically takes place from 10 to 5. And here was the video that they released to promo it. It's basically a live concert of Welcome to America, remastered. I'll just show you the video. Here's what everybody saw.
Am I in Greensboro? Is this Shelby's hometown? Well, guess what, y'all? My name is Prince, and I'm here to get down. Come on. It's the day. Prisoner Bank. Everybody, touch the sky. Come on. Greensboro, let's exercise. Good God. In here, let me hear you say, ow!
So that's what everybody got psyched about. Now that is good news, my friend.
That's hot because he was still dancing wild then.
Oh man, that is
them pumps were moving all over the place.
Yeah, it is amazing. I cannot wait for that. That is happening at Paisley Park. Let me actually share the actual screen from Paisley Park. So if you were up in Minneapolis during that time, I will be, but I'm going home that Sunday night, so I can't stay for another night. I can't miss work, any more work than I can. I would love to see this, so basically here it is. It opens at 10 o'clock. The MPG Music Club is open to the public. All are going to be invited to create an origami dove with a custom message. The paper and materials will be provided, and they'll actually be used at the art installation in the NPG Cafe at 4/21, April 21st at 4:21 p.m. Candle lighting in the MPG Music Club, and that portion will be live streamed for those who are able to join us in person. I was there for the last time that they did this. And then a night to remember, it happens that night, 7 to 9:30 p.m. The concert screening on stage. Doors open at 6, and you do a free-flowing walkthrough tour on your own and just kind of walk around Paisley Park. And then at 7 to 9:30 they play From the Vault, Welcome to America 2011, live from Greensboro, North Carolina. And it's there. It's going to be, and that happens at Paisley Park, April 21st, which is pretty awesome. I mean, it's pretty fantastic. And what was the details on the cost? The cost was $41.75 to go to the show. But if you want, and that includes a service fee, so you don't have to worry about it being any more than that. However, if you want to park at Paisley Park, it's an additional $16.75. But I mean, let's just face it. It's cool because it'd be cooler if they, I mean, I get it. They can do this event. That's good. It's happening on the day that he asked us to celebrate. It'll be a perfect opportunity to celebrate, and a great kudos, Paisley Park and Princess State. Thank you. That's what I'm talking about. Now, what would be great though,
the fact
put it out
free to the public and during the day, I think is a smart move.
Yes, definitely so. Because then you can kind of get there and get hyped up and you're like, okay, I'll spend the other money. Okay, I'm here. I'll do it.
Right.
But then, on the same note, it would be better if then maybe the following week or a couple of weeks later, you made that available for purchase as maybe not a download, because I don't think you guys quite, even though the technology is there, it can always be circumvented. I don't think downloadable is going to be the option, but make that available for purchase because we all want to see it. You want to talk about money. You want to talk about making money. Fine. Do your thing on 21st. Make that concert available for us to purchase that can't make it or that can't be there for that, because these are the types of things that Prince fans get excited about. I mean, these are the performances that need to be out there. I mean, the main thing the Prince fans want, and we've said this multiple times, is more music, more concert footage. And you know how many times, okay, here's just to kind of give you an idea of how many that concert stuff, how many people want to see it. The Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, when Prince did the guitar work with on While My Guitar Gently Weeps, and he sat in with George Harrison's son and Tom Petty, Jeff Lynne, and Steve Winwood, and all that. Yeah, the Prince specific segment, they posted it on their channel twice. The Prince specific segment had 42 million views just on his segment. And then on top of that, there was an additional 134 million times that people watched the entire song with Prince's segment in there. People wanted to see the whole thing. So you're talking, that is, if that doesn't prove anything, I don't know what will, because that should prove that people want to see him perform. People want to see, I mean, there was other people there on the stage as well, but he was pretty much one of the main attractions as far as that concerned. I mean, millions of people that saw that had no idea that Prince could play guitar as masterfully as that, and watching him hold his own among all those musical legends. And then they watch it and they go, wow, I should look beyond the ruffle shirts, bikini briefs, and assless pants because maybe there's something more here that I'm missing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So make all this stuff available. You got it. It's already there. Most of it's already done. Just takes a little minor editing here, there, and everywhere. You got it. Just I don't know.
Can I?
Yeah, whatever. Whatever it is.
Are we just riffing?
Yeah, we're riffing now.
I was just going to mention that I tried to watch. Speaking of, the estate and Prince's legacy and whatnot, and what people want to see. I tried to watch that Ezra Edelman interview.
Oh,
where they were at. Yeah, wow, man.
Yeah.
I didn't get that was not pleasant to me. I don't know why it's on my mind right now, but okay. But
well, imagine spending 5 years of your life focusing on something and doing something and working on it. I mean, don't get me wrong. The movie's not coming out. You still got paid though, right? I'm pretty sure you still got paid, but it's got to be frustrating that, doing all this work and working on something for 5 years and then it just does not see the light of day. And I just heard that somebody sent me a link about Lenny Kravitz's documentary is going to be on Netflix. It's coming out on Netflix. And it's going to be a warts and all type of documentary with all the stuff with Lisa Bonet and the divorce and all the shady shit that happened and whatever. But the links that somebody sent me, I didn't see anything that was from an official type of entertainment site, so I didn't really kind of want to bring too much attention to that. But it goes to show that people are really, really love to see documentaries, and I get it, but. If it comes out, I'll watch it. If it doesn't, oh well.
Yeah, I got it. But again, Lenny's here.
He is.
Anybody has anything to say about it, Lenny can get right on the internets and challenge.
Correct. Right. Exactly.
That is a basic and important differential. I think. Yeah. But no, okay, I got it, man. But if in the arts, you don't always get your way. There's a lot of rejection involved in the arts. As a musician, I can't tell you how many times I got told, go out there, get away from here. As a kid, even up and through my teenage years, it's you reach a certain point, where you have to consider the job as that. You can't always just you can't have your feelings involved in everything you do. Some days are diamonds, and some days I was just sitting there amongst lumps of coal, man,
Yeah.
Coming up. Well, and I feel like yes, that's fine for him to be, dejected and upset. But if he got paid, the rest of it is about, look what great work I did. Look at what great work I do. I really felt like his ego was on display during that entire interview. It's not a matter. There's a way to seek justice without becoming arrogant about it.
Right. Exactly. Now, and I also want to make sure that, because I did spend a little bit of time writing this down, because I want to make sure that you guys, first off, as Prince fans, we are very insatiable when it comes to his music. And you guys, I know a lot of people can complain and fuss and say, oh, we need this and we need that. Let me just kind of go through the list of what they have done release wise since he passed. Okay.
Yeah. Let's clear the record, man. Yeah.
Let's make sure that because we need to show what they have done, what the estate has done, some love, because it's not nothing.
Yeah.
You had 12 releases that have happened posthumously in the 9 years that he has. And some of those, and a lot of these, were the equivalent of multiple albums. Mm-hmm. For instance, 2016, the year that he passed, they released Forever, and it had that one new track, Forever, on it.
I remember that. Yeah.
2017, the very next year, they released Purple Rain Deluxe, which had 11 unreleased tracks, plus plus a DVD of Prince and the Revolution live. And also in 2017, they released the anthology album, which was kind of like, I guess, a little bit about like a greatest hits type of thing. Then the next year, 2018, they released Prince and a Microphone 1983, which contained 9 unreleased tracks that nobody had ever heard before. Then the next year, 2019, they did a re-release of 1985's Japan-only release of His Majesty's Pop Life, The Purple Mix Club, and the re-release of the Versace Experience Prelude to Gold, which was a promotional cassette that was only given to the people that were attending the Versace collection at Paris Fashion Week. And still in 2019, they also released Originals, which was 16 unreleased tracks of Prince performing hits he created for other artists.
That's right.
And still in 2019, they did the 1999 Super Deluxe Edition with 18 B-sides, extended versions and edits from the 1999 era, including 24 previously unreleased songs, a CD with the late show of the December 1st show in Detroit, Michigan from the 1999 tour, and a DVD of the Houston concert from December 29th, 1982. That was all 2019. Now 2020, year of pandemic, we got the digital re-release of Prince and the Revolution Live, which came out on VHS in the 80s, but they digitized it or whatever and kind of made it. I wasn't really a big fan of that because it didn't look great. It didn't age well. But that same year, 2020, they also did Sign of the Times Super Deluxe Edition with the remastered original album that also had a CD with 13 B-sides, extended versions and edits.
Oh, yeah.
3 more discs from the Sign of the Times era with 45 previously unreleased songs or versions of songs, a 2-hour, 15-minute DVD of the concert of 1998, the New Year's Eve 1987 Paisley Park Studio show, which also included promo videos for Sign of the Times, You Got the Look, and I Can Never Take the Place of Your Man. Yes. 2021, Welcome to America, the release of the previously shelved album with 12 previously unreleased tracks. And then 2022 didn't see much of anything. 2023, though, we had Diamonds and Pearls Super Deluxe Edition, which had the remastered album, a disc of remastered B-sides and remixes, 3 CDs of 43 previously unreleased vault tracks, a full show of live audio from January 11th in Glam Slam in Minneapolis, and a Blu-ray release of that same show, and the Special Olympics performance from July 1991 at the Minneapolis Metrodome, including the sound check, and the full Diamonds and Pearls video collection that was previously only available on VHS. So for those people who say that the estate, they're just sitting on stuff, they ain't done nothing, that's not true. They have, and that, I want to make sure that's absolutely clear that we have been getting a lot of stuff now. Sure. And of course, again, we're insatiable, so that's going to happen. But the points that we were making were, as far as some of the releases and some of the ways they were doing things, especially things that are tied to the celebration, you're disconnected. You're disconnected with some of the stuff that's going on, and you're also missing a lot of other opportunities as well, like all the anniversaries that we talked about for this year. I get it; there's not enough time in the day, but next year, you better be ready with maybe a Parade SDE, a digital remastering of Under the Cherry Moon, and then it's the 10-year anniversary of his passing. There's got to be something. I would highly suggest you get something ready. Put somebody in the editing room now. now.
Get started right now. Yes.
Now. Yeah. So.
Well, yeah. When you put it all like that. Yeah, they whoever was responsible for all that activity, it was a prodigious run.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
I'm glad you took a moment to even things out a little bit, because I don't want to come off like like we're here trying to tear things down. It's like what we're trying to do is be solution oriented. There's a way. There's a way for everybody to get what they need out of the situation, and so many. potential revenue streams, so many things they could be cashing in on.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, and we do have the obvious things. Like I see Chiari, I'm telling you right now, that right there, Chiari just said piano and a microphone 2016. The final 2 concerts in Atlanta, those 2 shows, I'm telling you, I was there. They were friggin' unbelievable, so magical. And to get an actual soundboard recording of that show, but I'm telling you, they're sitting on that. I don't know, maybe it's a 10-year anniversary of his passing next year. Maybe it might see the light of day because the show was from 2016. So it would be the 10-year anniversary of his final concert too.
When else would be the opportune time to do it?
I release it on the 10-year anniversary of that show.
Yes, absolutely.
I mean,
I would.
That would break the internet, because I'm telling you, when people are able to see Prince paired down with just him and a piano in that way, and for those not familiar with the show, it is him and a piano. There was very, very little sound effects. Obviously, there's different types of effects that were on some of his piano, and some feedback loops that he did when he screamed and stuff just for effect.
Yeah.
I mean, but outside of that, when people see how prolific that he was on piano and that performance, they're going to, it's going to be just like the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame thing. They're going to be like, I didn't know, I missed it. I missed it.
And that's the thing also, is that I think about it. I was thinking about it now as you were talking about, like the very first time I remember really sitting and like Prince was just playing piano. He had a he had a place in Paris, and we were over there doing something, and he invited us all over like in the middle of the night. And we got there and he was already playing, and he kept playing for maybe like an hour, hour and 20, and I remember thinking to myself, like, wow, it's like he's so great at everything, but really on piano, there's something else happening. Like, I think with piano, you get the percussion of the hammers hitting, the strings, but, also it's the melodic, it's like a piano is like a percussion instrument almost with tones.
And definitely the way he plays it. Definitely the way he plays it.
So there's so much you can get across. I mean, and it's just a piano, but that's the weird thing about music that people don't realize. Like, you can have 2 people sit down at the same and play the same instrument, play the same piano, and it sounds completely different. Like, it really is like, I've had, I had people sitting on the drums before, and actually Johannes was the first one to point this out to me. He says, "Man, I don't understand. The other guy, everything sounds completely different. When you play them, they sound different. And the guy didn't move anything." I said, "Yeah, because it's not just the instrument; it's what you're doing with it. It's where your ear, wants things to go. Because I hear where I want to put the sticks on the drums, and then the rest of it is ergonomic and remembering position and so on and so forth.
Right.
But yeah, you have to understand your own sound to really make it your own when you're playing,
Yeah.
And Prince just spent so much time playing piano, trying to impress his dad, apparently, from what from everything I had heard, and but he was just incredible on piano. Now the whole world knows that,
So I guess the question would be, the next question would be, what can we do? As fans, what can we do? Obviously, we can keep buying the, even if we agree with, listen, you can agree with, I'm not a big fan of everything that they've released, but everything that they've released, I've got. Matter of fact, every single bit of it's over here. All the box sets, all the super deluxes, everything they've released posthumously, minus His Majesty stuff. I don't even understand how singles were a thing at any point in time. It amazes me because I had so many of them when I was a kid, and I know you did too. You would have like that one single that was one song. It was one song on a 45. And we would play it over and over and over and over and over again. It's like, I can't just can't. Now the 12 inches were a little bit different, you know, especially where Prince was concerned.
Yeah.
But I don't. Anyways, everything that was released posthumously, I've got it. I bought it. I purchased it, and I'm going to continue doing so because I'm going to continue supporting the estate. I'm going to continue supporting Prince's legacy. I'm going to make sure that when those numbers show up for their sales, somebody asked me about whether or not there were I had some numbers on some final sales of some album. I don't remember what album you were talking about, but I don't have any of them, so I don't know.
Sure.
But I purchased them, and I know that when the sales numbers show up, that my dollars were a part of that. And I'm going to continue doing that because I feel like and also shout out to Funkotopia and Nick Garcia, because he also sent me a text before the show talking about, you know, how important it was for us as fans to keep supporting folks like the DJs, DJ Lenka, Dudley D, D Nice, Rashida, and on, going to shows that are Prince adjacent. Nick was talking about, you know, the dance parties and things, and having things during the day that kids can actually participate in. And, you know, some of those Prince tribute shows and cover bands and stuff may be cringy to a lot of folks, but the reality of it is it keeps his legacy alive. That is a 2-hour window. That is a 2-hour window where people are listening to Prince's music. I'm granted it's not him playing it, and with the DJs, you have entire sets and yes. So Shem, I've seen your many questions, and I've been starring as many as I possibly can. Yes, I have seen your questions.
I was just going to say, since you brought up the kids, I actually recently, and I got to follow up with her, but you ever met a young woman named Heidi Vader? She runs a thing called Purple Playground.
Yes, I have.
But now that's really, I would like to see the estate and Purple Playground actually join forces, because I really think that, you know, the real way to contribute is the way Prince always did. He always discovered new talent.
Yeah, I mean, I totally agree, because I think that the kids are definitely part of moving forward. And this is actually a perfect segue. Prince's work. Thank you so much. With kids, and just being able to, because I've said this before, this was an idea that I had that I was like, Paisley Park is a studio. It has multiple studios that are in there. There is no reason why they couldn't bring in teachers, music teachers that are accredited music teachers to do music lessons and to teach that next generation of kids musically, using Prince's music as, you know, part of the textbook. And on top of that, as far as the production is concerned, teach kids how to produce, teach kids how to mix, teach kids how to do stage setup. There's so much that they could do to kind of help the next generation kind of move on. And they have all the tools. These are all things that they already have there. And it would continue his legacy, you know, through the work of kids. Other people are interested in helping kids learn through dance and things like that. Speaking of which, let me bring in somebody who may be interested in talking a little bit about this. Ladies and gentlemen, would you guys please welcome a little bit of surprise guest. I'm sorry, I didn't tell anybody.
That's
Ladies
and
gentlemen, Maite's in the house.
Oh, wow. Watch out, man.
Hi.
What's up, girl?
Whoa.
Wow, how you doing?
There's no
I am
school jokes happening
surprised.
right now. I'm doing good. How are you guys?
Good.
Doing great, man. We were just talking about, you know, I don't know how much of the show you've been listening to. We were talking about Prince's legacy and some of the stuff that, you know, he was doing for kids when he was with us, and some of the things that we can still continue doing. And I do want to talk about your event. I know, you know, with Live for Love Charities, you know, we did a bowling event last year. But this year we're not going to be doing the bowling event. You're actually doing a dance event. We're going to talk about that, and it's for teens. Yeah. So I do want to talk a little. Actually, why don't we talk about it, since I've already mentioned it? Tell people a little bit about this event since we're here.
The Live for Dance.
Yes.
There it is. Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, this is something I plan on doing other programs, but I started with Live for Music, which was great. I mean, actually, I'm waiting for one more person to sign the release, but I have an amazing video of these classes so you can see what happened. It was great. Of course, there's nothing better than in person, but we did it through Zoom, and it was so, I was so like teary eyed when I see these kids learning from such amazing mentors and musicians. And we're moving now to Live for Dance. As a child, I was motivated. That was my passion as a dancer. I just wanted to do every kind of dancing. And I know a lot of children that can't afford it. So I thought of something and some great choreographers. I plan on doing this in several cities, but the first one is June 7th and 8th at the Roy Wilkins studio. And I mean, I'm really excited about it to see. I mean, and I don't want to intimidate people because you think dance, oh my God, I haven't taken a dance class. It's for anybody that wants to move and just interested. So I'm excited to see the turnout. And,
Why did you decide? Why did you decide to do 13 to 18? What was the reasoning for that age group?
We said that, but you know what? I mean, if there's a 9-year-old, I lied. I got into ballet class at 3 when I was you're supposed to be 5, but my mom taught me how to hold my finger up, and I went in because I wanted to dance. So we put that age just, but if it's younger and I see a talented child, a hungry child that wants to move and get into this, I'm not going to say no. Like I said in my other life, I'm like, I'm gonna card them or anything. I just put that age
Right.
because that's like the age of discovery, 13. It's like you've taken some class, and then to get this mentorship and take these classes, I think would be inspiring and motivational for them.
So if somebody has kids and they want to attend this event, where's the best place to get tickets for this? Is it?
I mean, just show up. I mean, we'd love if you guys contacted us because then it helps us with the amount of people that we want. I have the info at liveforlovecharities.org. I also have a cell phone that you guys can text us at. I'm also doing a button we're going to put on the website so you can, but I mean, I'm expecting, I definitely want people to tell me who, like if you're going to bring 5 kids, I need to know this because we're also feeding them. We have an amazing lunch happening for them, and it's going to be an all around great event.
Yeah, well, it's going to be very, very cool. I'm looking forward to maybe trying to get in there, and because I'm definitely going to be in. I'm going to be in there, so I got to see some of it and capture some video. I'm just sorry, I'm a little bit enamored because I got like some MPG members sitting here in the house together, hanging out.
Yeah,
this is pretty freaking amazing. This is very cool.
Good to see you. I'm so happy to see you.
Same here. You look great.
Thank you. Thank you. You too.
When's the last time you guys saw each other?
Was it the Excel Center?
What was that? It?
I don't want to say, but that might have been it.
No. When we played at Paisley. Did you play? Oh no, you didn't play. I'm so used to you're always being there. Yeah, you're right. I didn't see you since then. Really?
I think it was 2016. It was that October.
Oh no, I thought no, you didn't play at Celebration. I know, I'm so bad. I'm telling you,
it's all right. Hey, listen, it's
but it's been a minute, but it feels like it doesn't like time.
Yeah.
When you see each other, it's like, oh my God, it's Michael.
Exactly. The time the time passing goes away. It's when we literally lived with each other for years. So
yeah. We did.
Yeah. So it's all love at any time.
Yes. Yeah. Absolutely.
Well, so the topic of the night is Prince's legacy, and we kind of talked about we've talked about missteps that the estate has been making as regards to the celebration and stuff, but we also took time to actually celebrate some of the things that the estate has done also with the quantity of releases that they've done, and just the fact that they're doing anything really, because it's a lot. It's got to be a lot to oversee, but we all want more music. We all want more concert videos, and it was a long list of the stuff that's already been released posthumously already. What do you feel? What do you feel is best to kind of move Prince's legacy forward? I mean, obviously his music is going to be a huge part of whatever it is, but is there missing pieces?
Yeah, I mean, I definitely think more of his material needs to be out there because I mean, especially doing this Live for Dance thing, I met with a little girl, and she didn't know who he was, and it broke my heart. Like, she was 9 years old. She was like, "Who's that?" And I was like, "You
Yeah.
don't know Princess?" And and then I had to tell her, I was like, "Oh, I choreographed, Britney Spears," and her eyes lit up. And I was like, "It's so heartbreaking. I really don't want his memory to disappear." So, I mean, get that music out there. It's got to get out there.
Yeah. I mean, could you
I
guys think?
try, and with our foundation, with Live for Love, we started it, and I'm trying to get him, but there's only so much we can do. I mean, I can walk around with him all I want, but it's gotta hit the kids. It's gotta hit the children.
I agree.
Yeah, I mean, are there any shows that you guys can think of, like, just to kind of give a little bit of hints to the estate? Because we were talking about this, and I'm going to go back to this screen because, again, I don't think you were paying attention to, or you were probably watching the show during this part, unless you were offline. But this year, 2025, we talked about this being all the anniversaries that are happening here in 2025.
Oh, wow. Exodus, the Gold Experience. Wow.
Yes, all of them.
See, I mean, that's amazing. And it's crazy. And I listen a lot to my daughter. She's 13 years old, and she loves 80s music. She loves all that stuff from the past. So it's like the prime time now to hit that. I mean, that's
Right.
amazing.
And they're basically bypassing it all. And again, the misstep that we were talking about this year was the celebration 2025 being Purple Rain 2.0, because the 40th anniversary celebration was last year, but this year they want to do it again, obviously, because they think that that's what all these people that are paying thousands of dollars that come to the celebration want to see, is another revision of that. And it's not.
Yeah.
We're this is what we want. And then on top of that, next year, and hopefully they'll get everything in gear, but next year this happens.
Oh, Emancipation, Diamonds and Pearls. Oh, Chaos and Disorder. Oh, man.
Yeah, there's a lot. It's a lot.
See, here's what's messing me up is all I can think about right now is me and Maite and everybody on tour for the Gold Experience record, which was not supposed to be released. And just, that was the craziest tour of my life, I think.
Yeah.
That was so, and you're one of the only people on the planet who can completely relate.
So
Yes.
what is, give us, yeah, I mean, somebody wanted some tour stories. Let's talk about the Gold Experience. What kind of craziness are we talking about? There's got to be stuff there.
You go ahead, Michael, and I'll chime in on the stuff.
All right, okay. I mean, it's just,
All right, here we go.
I mean, first off, you're talking about, we're right in the center of the hoopla with Warner Brothers, right? So, Prince was very, I mean, he was always sort of unpredictable emotionally. You didn't always know, I didn't always know who was walking in the room. You may have, but I did not.
She was married to him, so
yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, but
he's got stories.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not prying.
Understood. I know.
For me, I had to sort of just wait and see, like, where his head was at. Like,
Yeah.
he could be very, focused, I guess is really the word I'm talking about. Like, it took me a little while to realize that he didn't make a lot of small talk because he was always working on something,
Yeah.
So, I mean, we're on the road playing music from a record that's got no release date, and it was a lot of firsts in a row. Like, we tried to ship the Endorphin Machine and it didn't have any right angles on it. So they tore it up, putting it into Wembley Arena, and most of it had to stay there while we went to Sheffield, Manchester,
Birmingham.
all over. Yeah, Birmingham. Thank you. You knew which one I was talking about.
Birmingham.
And so it's like they had to make up a different staging at every show.
Yeah.
And some of the fans were like, "What happened to that monstrosity that was on the stage? Like, where'd the set go?" Like,
I know.
But then it was like,
sound check.
yes. And then just crowds all of a sudden erupting in like, F Warner Brothers, F Warner Brothers.
Yeah.
And then Prince would turn around and look at us like, "You hear that? You hear that?" I mean, it was crazy. It was almost like starting over in a weird way, I thought, because we weren't really playing the hits. Nobody really knew what to expect. It was like there was it was all very risky. Like it was very kind of without a net, and I don't know. It was, and plus with just the drain that situation had on him, it was, I mean, quantum entanglement is real. We all felt that anxiety and that sort of, and I think what it really did was sort of fed us at one point. Because when I go back and I watch like the White Room show of us doing Count the Days and Get Wild, it's like we were Manchurian candidates. It was almost like the cameras could have been there or not there. We just had this, you know what I'm saying? Like when it was time, it was just time.
Yeah.
There's
the endorphin.
There it is. Yes.
Oh my goodness. That was something else.
Yeah. So it was just like, wow, who else would have the nerve to do that? And we just went over to Europe and we just stomped everywhere we went. I
don't think I knew this story. So you're telling me this set was such a monstrosity that literally it was only in its full showing at one location, and then every place else was just pieces of it. Is that what you're telling me?
Sort of.
Yeah.
There's no right angles. No one designed it with any corners or anything. Like there's no hinges. There's no.
Did he, Michael? Did he already? Remember we had the board behind that curtain?
Yes.
Yeah.
And that lasted all the way up till sometime in 1994, maybe. Like on the conveyor belt back and forth, and then
that conveyor belt.
Oh man, I remember the night he came out on the conveyor belt. We're playing Endorphin Machine. He got all the way to the mic and realized he didn't turn it on, and he had to hit the reverse switch and rock back to the. He kept moving, man. He just soloed till he got back into the thing and turned his mic on and came back out. I was like, wow, man, he's the hardest of all times.
Crazy.
Oh,
wow.
Oh my goodness. So funny.
I just love the fact that, you guys just, I know it kind of warms a lot of Purple Hearts here to kind of see you guys, talking a little bit about some of these background stories that a lot of people have never heard before, because Dwayne hasn't written that book yet. That's all.
No, I just remember Maite coming back, we'd be backstage, I'd be looking, and like she just have bruises all over her legs, and like because when she jumped off the stage dive, it was all like hardcore. It was like there was no real protection for you.
No, no, I know. I'm surprised I didn't break anything.
She just
young.
She just go wild. And be like, oh, okay, all right. Like hot pants on, but like combat boots. So it's like, who's getting stomped by those boots while she?
Oh my goodness! Yep.
Oh,
yep.
man.
Oh gosh. Yes.
Wow. That's just amazing. Yeah. So I would think that there's probably a lot of these shows. Like, I know that he recorded a lot of these shows, audio wise, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Was there like a lot of good quality recordings that you can think of, or maybe that you've even seen of any of those shows that may be sitting in the vault that may get a release?
Yeah, he filmed everything, right, Michael?
Absolutely. All the rehearsals.
Sometimes, all the rehearsals. Sometimes it was just a VHS camera, and sometimes he'd use, the whole stage stuff.
Right.
I saw every single one of them when I was around. We would watch them after the show. They're definitely there. I have a couple too, but that's a whole nother story.
Yeah. No, there's a lot of great concert footage just sitting. I'm sure of it. Yeah.
Yes. Some good stuff.
And the fact that it's the 30th anniversary this year of that album is just amazing.
Oh, the Gold Experience? Yes. Well, it doesn't even feel like 30 years until I start considering just like my arthritic elbow. And it's like, no, it was 30 years ago, dude.
Oh yeah.
I know when I went to, I can't remember where I was. I was at a bar. I wasn't drinking. It was one of those bar eating places. Not that it matters if I was or not, but I happened to be standing there, and this person walked up, and young person, and they needed to see the ID, and he said, "What year were you born?" And it said 2003, and I was just like, 2003. And then I realized, wow, this person is old enough to drink. This person that was born in 2003 is old enough to drink. I'm like, holy crap. How is this possible?
Oh yeah. It's
Oh
crazy.
my
30 years
God.
ago. That's
Yeah.
insane.
No, time is
Wow.
crazy. Yeah.
Man,
Amazing.
unbelievable. Maite, I know you only had a short time, but I know you wanted to come in and talk about the dance scenario, and the Live for Love charities is definitely, definitely a cool, tell for people that don't know, that may be new to the Live for Love charities, tell people a little bit about Live for Love charities as well while you're here.
I mean, it was a charity that Prince and I started back in 1996. It was basically him wanting to help out. We were starting a family, and he was just hypersensitive to giving back. And it started with food drives, the coat drives to concerts, and and I would just see checks being written to help this person and this foundation. I mean, it was all secretly, it was private, because he didn't want a lot of acknowledgement. He just wanted to help. And now, we're continuing that. We've helped over 50 charities, and we plan on doing much more. We have Live for Music, we have Live for Dance, we have some stuff coming up in the near future that I'm really excited about. And it's about giving back, helping people up and helping people out. We did our research when we restarted it again, and we kind of saw the list of things that he helped, and I spoke to a lot of people, and our mission statement, I think it suits it perfectly, which is helping people up and helping people out.
Yeah, and it is really cool, amazing charity, and it's really, the people that are involved are fantastic. And I'm glad that I'm a part of that mix as well. And it's been really, really cool as far as just trying to be actively involved as much as possible. And it's just, if you see any events that Live for Love is doing, please make sure that you participate if you can. And even if you can't be there, maybe possibly consider donating, because it does go to some really, really great places.
Yes.
And Nephilim, is that they did have a question for you while you were here. When were those videos for Chaos and Disorder songs filmed? Was it close to the gold era in 94, 95, or closer to 96 when the album came out? Wild looks in those videos.
Before, right?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's always, I seem to remember, even with the gold experience, like when we shot, like, what videos were on that record?
Race.
Well, there was Gold, and there was
Race,
I Hate You.
Dolphin, I Hate You.
Oh,
I Hate
Dolphin,
You it was towards the end. Huh? Yeah,
that's
Dolphin.
Right. Mm-hmm. But I feel like with the Chaos and Disorder videos, that was like right after we finished the album.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then like maybe the first one could have been the same December, maybe.
Yep.
Okay.
Wait, he did that one. Yeah, that was one of the first ones that he did. Right?
Man.
Yeah, I thought so.
Yeah. It was
when
before we did the
we
whole,
were all in black and white, like our faces were half.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I remember that one. It's so funny because he just would shoot and we're like, well, what are you doing? Oh, and then you'd get to the set and you're like, oh, this is what we're doing. Okay.
Yeah.
It was, unless we were like, I Hate You was choreographed. And then we shot it. That was choreographed for stage. It wasn't for a video, but we made it work. Him and I. Yeah.
Okay. Well, it does have a definite sort of different thing happening. And then, that's right. I'm the judge. I didn't even remember that. I was sat around for like an hour. Then, okay, go. I'm with the gavel. Guilty. with my blindfold on. Like, how did I get talked into this?
Man, let's see. We're gonna have to have a gold experience, another gold experience show. I've already done an album chat for it, but I would love to do an album chat where we can get as many people together as possible that were on that album and were involved in that tour and everything, and just kind of go through the album track by track, sharing stories. Because I'm sure if I started talking about the individual tracks on the gold experience, it would probably spark some memories of certain things that happened during certain songs during the tour. And I'm sure you guys have stories for days.
Yeah, but you know what? What you should keep in mind that we didn't really know, like, Come and the Gold Experience were sort of being worked on at the same time.
Yeah,
if I remember correctly. It was
Yeah.
like we didn't really know which songs were going to be on which album, and it was just kind of these lists, and we would be
Yeah.
rehearsing all afternoon. We would rehearse all of
All
like
the
the
time.
entire, all 20 songs or whatever it was. Yeah, it was crazy. And then I didn't know what was going to be on what album until Come came out. It was like I noticed what stuff was missing. Then it was like, oh, okay, so the Gold Experience is going to be this, you know?
Yeah. Well, and there was contractual obligations, obviously, with Come, but he was just trying to just, whatever. I mean, because Come, I mean, it was too short when he originally handed it in, and then I guess Warner Brothers says you need to make we need X more minutes, and so he just made Come longer. So it's
he turned a 6-minute song into a 12-minute song.
That's right.
Yeah.
All right, Maite, I know you got to go. Thank you so much for stopping in and telling people about the dance event. And again, if you guys missed it and you guys are just now stopping in, make sure that we pull this back up. There is June 7th and 8th, the Live for Dance workshop. It's for ages 13 to 18, and it's happening at the Roy Wilkins Dance Studio. This graphic is too small. Where exactly is the Roy Wilkins Dance Studio?
Oh gosh, that's Michael. You would know, right?
I should, but I don't. That's St. Paul. I don't go over there often.
I know,
enough.
right?
Oh, so it's St. Paul's though. So that's good to know.
Well, the Roy Wilkins Auditorium was always in St. Paul, so I just presume.
Okay, there you go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. Anybody? I mean, you can find it. Somebody can find it.
Definitely. And I'm going to do another post and give the address out so everybody knows where it is.
Awesome.
Yes.
Yeah, the Roy Wilkins Dance Studio.
Yeah. Follow her on Instagram because she always post cool little clips and whatnot.
And Live for Love Charities. If you want some positivity and good stuff, Live for Love Charities on Instagram, Facebook. We have a YouTube channel. I don't think people are checking that out. We're revamping the website. It's going to be user friendly. You guys are going to get a lot of good stuff, new stuff. So I'm excited.
Who's all involved in that? Is that you and Gilbert and Kirk?
Yep.
Okay, I got it right. Okay, that's what I had heard.
Yep.
Fantastic. Good for you guys.
Yes.
There we go. We got an address.
We're on the internet. People are finally
Thank you, Kim. See, there's Kim. She helps run our social, so she's on it.
Awesome.
Look at her. I love it.
Fantastic. Yeah, I love it.
125 Kellogg Boulevard. There you go, St. Paul.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, please give a warm round of
having me.
Oh, of course. Anytime, the door is always open. You know that. Just call me and I'll send you a link. Thank you for stopping by, Maite.
Good to see you, Michael, and I hope to see you soon.
Absolutely. Take care now. All right.
Bye.
We'll see you.
All right. There she was, Maite. And
wow, man, that was cool.
I was gonna let you know that she was there. I was like, nah, I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna let it be a surprise.
I'm glad it was her, but whoever it was, I guess I was gonna have to smile no matter what. Like, who the hell is this coming on? All right, well, it might be somebody I just had an argument with. Well, let's just, I'll act nice anyway.
Ladies and gentlemen, Questlove's in the house.
Oh, I turned into DMX. Sorry, my cat got nervous when I did that. Yeah.
If you guys don't know the background story, you got to go back some episodes.
It's all right. Hey, listen, it's all good, man. It's all cool. I don't hold any grudges,
No.
I'm just trying to stay in the light, man. That's it.
Well, I figure since there's so many questions, obviously, as far as the topic is concerned tonight about Prince's legacy, you know what needs to be done. We just need to continue supporting things whenever something Prince related comes out. Just continue supporting it because we have to keep the ball rolling, regardless of whether we agree with it or whether or not we can. I mean, not necessarily. I mean, you don't have to do everything, but to kind of keep that ball moving until get some of the things that we want, and hopefully they'll get the message about some of the things that the hardcore Prince fans want to see.
A little more transparency and a little more expediency can go a long way.
And it's important, I think, as far as legacy is concerned, because obviously immediately we think, oh, what we're going to do with Prince's legacy. All right, well, musically, it's going to involve the music. There's going to be there's no way around that. However, again, the things that I'm talking about, like the music classes at Paisley Park to kind of help the next generation kind of get involved in music, kind of like a School of Rock type of thing, but like a purple version of it, with the mixing and the stage setup and teaching people, how to be tour managers and doing business and stuff, because it can be done.
It can really be a resource. You're absolutely right. The
facility is already there. Everything that we need is already there, and it's totally doable. So those types of things, I think, go beyond just, okay, well, we got to release this at this date and do this and that. And as fans, we got to support the DJs and support the, artists that are out there that are continuing to pump that music out there to keep people listening and keep people engaged, and the estate making the right choices about what to release to kind of engage beyond just the purple community and get that outreach, and to start really kind of taking care of these celebration level fans that are spending thousands and thousands of dollars to be in Prince's home and in his state, because we're not there for what you think we're there for. And you need to accommodate that while we're there. All the other stuff, money focused, I get it. Totally cool. But do that everywhere. Where it comes to the celebration,
get all the money. Fair. Don't just stop at the Purple Rain money. Get all the money, man.
Don't.
If we're going to be in business, let's be in business to be in business.
You want the celebration to continue year after year. You're going to have to make it enticing and make it palpable for us to be there year after year. What do they say? You can't make loot if your mom's is smoking up all the product.
Why are you going to bring your moms into it? What is...
I think that's what they say.
Yeah, that's followed by a sock in the mouth, probably to the wrong person. My goodness.
Yeah, just stop putting stuff out there that we don't need. And focus on the right things. That's basically.
It'd be great to see them catch up with the fans.
Yes.
In terms of the level of interest, what they're interested in and how much. I just think their calculations are off. They're trying to make this like broad sweep, and it's like anybody can get to that. Purple Rain was just on. I saw it twice on television, like last week.
Right. Exactly.
It's like these people spending this money, they want something rare.
Right. And Joni brings up a good point. I kept trying to remember to talk about this too, or the MPG Music Club.
Yeah.
MPG Music Club, celebration. You can get us out there once a year to spend outrageous amounts of money, thousands of dollars at the location. But you want to take our money all year long, rehash the MPG Music Club with all of these concert pieces, all of these unreleased songs, all of these remixes, make a monthly scenario where you can just be a member and you can get really cool stuff all year round. Those are those are the types of things. And in the little bits and pieces in the celebration, like I see somebody mentioning food. Melina mentions food.
What, the food wasn't too tasty?
Well, I know they're respectful of Paisley Park. They're respectful of the fact that Prince was, didn't eat meat. So, they kind of feel like everybody's, got to do it. And I get it. I understand it. But, on the same note, not everybody is that way. So we just don't want to eat Rice Krispie treats and pancakes and whatever else. It's fine. But again, I don't want to nitpick on the celebration anymore. I just want to say that it just needs to be able to make sure that they're paying attention to each in their segments of the Prince community. There's a wide, broad one like the one you're referring to, the Purple Rainers and the all of the radio heads that will go out and probably purchase something, and maybe might be actually interested in seeing that 10-year anniversary of his final I want to hear the final concert that Prince ever played. Might be interested in hearing that. Even if you're a Fairweather fan, you're like, I'm interested in checking that out. Monetarily, they also need to figure things out too. The very day that you release an album, don't put it on Spotify the same exact day at 12 p.m. No offense to Spotify. I know you're a big Spotify. I like Spotify too. I love the suggestions and stuff, and it helps me discover new music, and I get that. But I can tell you that when I pre-order a super deluxe whatever for $150, and it gets to my house on the day that it released on Amazon at 10 or whatever, at my house, maybe sometimes it doesn't even come, and then a person that didn't spend anything can hear everything, including the unreleased tracks, including everything at 12:01 a.m. on Spotify.
Yeah, you got to follow through with the agreement. If you're offering people pre-orders, they need to be able to get that music first.
You need to make sure that the people like Taylor Swift had an approach for a while where she would release the album, and it would be, it'd be months later before it would ever see Spotify. It's like, you want it, go out and buy it. Okay, well, that's how economy works. It's just like, if you just wrapped in with your 0.00001 cent per click or per play, you're not going to make money that way. It's just, fans first.
Well, we'd like to hope for it. I mean, I think we put together a pretty good case. I mean, they may have all sorts of rebuttals. We don't know the numbers. They might really know what they're doing.
I think Purple Rain 2.0 says otherwise.
All right.
I'm sorry.
Okay.
I'm stuck on that because I feel like that's a travesty. I feel like, it worked out really well financially last time. Let's do it again. I really feel like it's a money thing for me. I'm sorry.
That's definitely how it appears. I mean, I think that, we should probably put a pin in it until we could actually talk to somebody over there who knows. Well, I don't want to do this every week.
No, Londale, I don't either. Londale, Charles, the door is open. We'd love to be able to talk to you. You can chastise me. You
set the record straight. Tell us to shut up. We don't know what we're talking about.
Put me in my place. You've done it before. Do it again, but this time in front of. Just think
in front of all 20 people on this podcast.
It's more than 20.
Oh yeah.
It's got just come on the show, talk to us and let people know what's going on and give people some insight into what's happening and because people are keyboard brave. I mean, for sure. This goes beyond being keyboard brave, but I'm always respectful of whoever I have on the show, whether or not I'm a fan of them or not. So
give them a chance to speak, man. I mean, if they want to speak,
let's cover some Michael questions.
Let's do some questions, man. The hour
let's do this.
Is creeping along here.
Paul Smith, can you ask Michael about the Ultimate Live Experience shows? They were fire. Anything specific you remember about those shows?
I'm not sure what shows those are. I don't remember Ultimate Live Experience. I don't remember that phrase. It's nowhere in my brain. I'm
trying to remember what it was. I'm not sure if that was
what
the
would
actual.
That have been?
Rodney Fitzgerald was in here. He's a guru with that stuff. Help us with the dates of that one, Rodney, and we'll come back to that, Paul.
I'm not even sure that was me. Let's come back to that.
Yeah. There you go. Kyle Good, number 5,000 subscriber at YouTube. Thank you, sir. Have you been listening a ton to the trio bootleg from the Conga Room 2009? Incredible to hear you in that context. Any fun memories from that tour? A whole new side of P's guitar prowess.
Oh, I got it. That wasn't a tour. That was just a one-off. And that was also when Prince was playing at the, what do they call it? Staples Center. In Los Angeles, because he did 2 other shows that night. He did the Conga Room was Sheila's. Sheila had I don't know if it's still there. I mean, it was 2009, but I believe that was Sheila's club at the Staples Center. And
I didn't realize she had a club.
We just played the Leno show right around a couple of days before or after that. So that was not a tour by any stretch of the imagination. That was just I don't remember what I was in. I was in Los Angeles for a couple of things. And then somebody from Prince's camp came looking for me, and I was in LA. They're like, oh, great. We have these things going on. Prince wants to know if so on and so forth. So I don't know what me and Sonny were doing in LA, but we got roped into that, and that was a lot of fun. You know,
yeah, I mean, yeah, he was. There was some other comments too. He was talking about how beautiful the sound was. He was really enamored with the sound. This one's not a you question. It's actually technically a me question. I answered it earlier. Can we buy Funkotopia shirts? Yes, you can.
yeah.
I showed them at the beginning of the show. I'm actually wearing one of them right now, but yes, they are available right now. Funkotopia.com/shop. And you can get the new Funkotopia. I was wearing the black one, I guess, a couple of weeks ago. This is actually the white one, but they're also available in a variety of different sizes and colors as well. Black, heather gray, heather purple, white, and regular purple. And they're all available. And on top of that, also, we have a couple of Uptown Radio Plus shirts available for you in the big logo and also the pocket logo. And the reason why there's only white and gray available is because don't have a white outlined version of this logo yet. So anything darker than this and it becomes, so that's the reason why. But yes, Funkotopia.com/shop. You can get them. All those shirts are only $20 and it's free shipping on the Funkotopia store. Free shipping across it doesn't matter if you order a sticker. It's free shipping. Doesn't matter. So shipping is included. So whatever pricing that you see. And I mean, there's a big stock of embroidered stuff too. Like this is not embroidered, but I have embroidered hats, embroidered slouch hats, embroidered gym bags with the Funkotopia logo. You have one of the gym bags. And it's embroidered on there. And there's like, everything is like really inexpensive. Like, I think the most expensive thing I have in the store is like, I want to say $25. I think is the most expensive thing in the store for real. So everything in there is really inexpensive. I know people have asked about the WTF mugs. I have an issue with the sublimation printer because all these are handmade. I make them by hand for the shirts. I make by hand for you. So all the stuff is handmade by me for you when you order it. I'm just not doing some mass, so anyway.
Sure. Mm-hmm.
So yes, we can buy the shirts. Funkotopia.com/shop. Thank you, Heidi.
Great. Yeah.
Got it, man. There you go.
Awesome.
Let's see. Michael B. Fanto. He's been here many times, or she. Michael B., if you were a estate curator, what would you super deluxe edition? What album would you focus on? First one that comes to mind, and go.
Parade. I mean, Parade is a masterpiece from start to finish, man. That was the album that really made me a Prince fan, to be honest. I'd heard the others, and they, I thought, it's kind of cool, this and that. I wasn't a real fan until I heard Parade, to be honest. Like, there's a musicality going on that record, and it's so kind of postmodern. It's like some of the stuff with the Claire Fisher string arrangements, and like it's just, I don't know. It's also, it sounds good. It's mixed so well, and I just think it was kind of high art all the way around, So I'd say Under the Cherry Moon soundtrack, Parade. Yeah.
Yeah, I would say that's a really good selection. See, for me, it's kind of weird because when the Third Eye Girl project came out, I loved the instrumental stuff that they were doing that was really unreleased. The stuff that they popped up on YouTube TV, they did a Third Eye TV thing where they had songs like Menstrual Cycle and I don't know if you've ever heard any of these songs. Menstrual Cycle, Octopus Heart. There was all these really cool jam sessions of just the three of them just vibing out in the middle of the night.
Sure.
And they were amazing. And I would love to be able to see a collection of those because I know Donna Grantis's album, Diamonds and Dynamite, if I remember correctly, is the name of the album. If you guys were a fan of that instrumental stuff the Third Eye Girl did, and if you know it, you know it. If you don't know it, just look it up. Just look up Third Eye Girl Octopus Heart. Start there. And there was a lot of other stuff too, just in that era where he was really kind of perfected the recording of those rehearsals. And it was just so clean, but I would love to see some collections of that. But again, first 2016 Piano and a Microphone, released that concert along with a collection of other great tracks from the other stops as well. The 7 p.m. show from Atlanta, the 7 and 10 p.m. show from Atlanta, some of the show clips from Prince Piano and a Microphone from Australia. There's so many things. Ronnie's got some love for you. Michael Bland is one of the most knowledgeable ex-bandmates there are.
Oh, I know Bob. He and we correspond a lot. And he's I have to say, he's probably one of the fans I've been the most honest with about just my experience with Prince and, just kind of my thoughts and feelings about the whole thing. I don't know why. I've just been sort of just like unguarded and kind of 100% open with this dude, and I'm sure he's suffered, I've ripped down delusions of grandeur and, it just kind of messed with his perfect Prince world. I'm certain of it. But, he keeps coming back, man. He's still got questions.
Oh, and that's what we're here for. Everybody keeps on coming back because you have tons of answers, and people love to hear these background stories, and you're so knowledgeable and you're so quick-witted, and you're it's just again, I've told you a million times, it's an honor to have you an official part of this show because you bring a lot of levity and legitimacy to what we're doing here, and you speak your truth, and love that. Well,
thank you so much, man. That means a lot. I appreciate it.
It's all true. It's all true. None of it lies. None of it lies.
I try to be real, man. I try to be real. I try to keep it positive,
Can Michael say anything about the show on a patio of Warner Brothers on June 3rd, 1991 in Burbank, California?
I could say a few things, but I'm not sure what they really want to hear. I'll tell you this. That was the first time I ever experienced like what happens to a sampler when the power is soft. Because we were always stretching our technology to the very limit. We were doing things that other people were not doing because it was too hard to do. And Prince refused to sequence the show, how everybody else was sequencing their show, like Madonna, Janet Jackson, they were using backing tracks then. We didn't do that. I had to remember those tempos. They had to be in my bloodstream, man. I had to know exactly how fast Endorphin Machine goes.
That's
exactly how fast, because it was easy if I had a loop or something I was playing to, but we did a lot of stuff where it was just without a net. And so me and Morris would be just looking at each other okay, man, I hear you, I got you, because he's firing off these vocal samples, with no systemic reference. We're just freehanding everything, And I don't know if anybody can understand what I'm actually saying, but
I do.
Yeah, it's so the tempo's got to be right for the samples to work. So it was a lot. I saw somebody say that Michael was very fortunate to have played so many shows. Yes, that much is true, man. But let me make sure you understand that this was a high stress situation. This is not something I would wish on anybody, because
I can't imagine.
It's a lot to go through. So people, it's no, you're right. Prince showed me the world and taught me things I may have never learned anywhere else. That much is true. But let's not take the work out of it, bro.
To not get away from the question, so are you saying that sampler did not work on that patio show?
Well, I'm saying, I went to start it, and I think the loop just was running slow and kind of 8 bits went down to 3 bits.
Oh no.
And it was crazy, man. And we were just starting to use this technology. So it was nobody really knew what was going to happen. It happened twice. It happened there, and it happened at Jack the Rapper. I hit get off, and the loop was playing at half speed. And somebody had to find a juice goose at the last minute. It was,
that's what is, I guess a juice goose just kind of takes the current that is currently there,
and it sucks it up. It takes it from wherever it needs to take it. Yeah, we were
Wow.
that was in like some hotel in Atlanta. I don't remember. It was Jack the Rapper. But
Wow.
yeah. And then we took a break, and my drum tech at the time, I will never forget this. Brad Marsh, Prince was like, "So what's going on with this? You know, with the loops, you know?" And Brad was like trying to explain to Prince, and Prince, all Prince said after the dude gave him this long explanation, he said, "Fix it." And a sheet of sweat just went over his face, like it was like somebody splashed him with water. I mean, people don't understand. It's all fun and hey, yeah, yay, Prince. But behind the scenes, man, we were practically magicians. Nobody understands because it's one thing to be able to just dream something. Oh yeah, I think I want to do this, you know. But for Prince,
yeah, we've heard the stories on this show. You were on the show with me with Alan Leeds when he told that story about when they were on the Purple Rain tour and he was doing the stroking of the guitar, and
right.
instead of it streaming out to the crowd,
just
kind of
dribbled out.
out.
And one of the mannequins lost an arm during the top, like when they were. Oh man, yeah, I've heard that story, man.
Yeah, and then I guess Prince was just like, "That's not going to happen again, is it?" Alan was like,
"Yeah."
And then another funny story from the Purple Rain tour. My good friend Rob Rhythm, we didn't know each other at the time. He saw the show, I guess, in Arizona or wherever he was at the time, and he was chewing gum, and he threw the gum, and it went right into the bathtub of. This is on the Purple Rain set, the bathtub that's on the Purple Rain set. It went right into the bathtub. And it got to the scene where Prince gets into the bathtub and he sees it, he reaches down and he picks it up and picks it up. I'm like, dude, I don't know. He shared the story publicly already, but I'm just like, God, man, I can't imagine all that. You know, you're lucky that the Prince fans aren't like the Bay Hive because they would probably eat you alive, dude.
Yeah, okay. I mean, well, whatever. I mean, you know, it's you know, nobody lives forever. It's okay. They can kill me on the internet. I don't really care, you know. But but I'm not. I've never have gone out of my way to be disparaging. You know, I'm just saying. Yes, it was. I was happy that I was happy that I got to work with Prince, and I'm sure Prince was happy he got to work with me. That's all I'm saying. You know?
Oh, absolutely.
It's a two-way street. I'm not just sitting there eating bonbons going, yeah, this is great, Prince. Like, I have to make things happen. He uttered to Barbarella's keyboard tech, I want a wireless MIDI controller. You know, like, I want to be able to change programs from like over there.
Mm-hmm.
They had to build that. Like, somebody had to I watched him draw what he wanted it to look like. He freehanded the design for the Purple Act and said, I want this. How long? How long will it take for me to have this? And
now, the contractors come in? Now, I know from a fashion side of something, he could just, and, you know, I guess people just come out and just start making stuff. But like for like set designs and different things like that, I mean, were there people on staff to handle some of those things?
Well, if they weren't, then the job of the technician was to find the people who could do it.
Okay. So there was somebody in charge of finding the person to do it. Okay.
Stuart was this guy named Stuart was Barbarella's keyboard tech, and Stuart wore some leather boots that looked like flock of seagull boots like every day, and had this hat, and he was an extremely bright dude, nice guy. And Prince was like, "How long, till I can hold this in my hand?" And Stuart looked at Prince and said, "Give me 3 months or something like that." And I swear, at the end of that 3 months, the Purple Axe showed up at Paisley, and Prince, it was like Christmas on Mars or something. It was like nobody even had one of these. It was a wireless MIDI controller. No one had the technology. No one had put it all together. Prince gave him the aesthetic, told him what he wanted it to do. By the time they finished the thing, they had rigged it with it could blow smoke. It had like a dry ice thing on it. Like when Barbarella was turning around with it and that smoke, like Prince, that's what I'm saying. We gave him the world, and he still wanted a little bit more. He said, "This is awesome. Now, if it can blow smoke, give me a knob that I can turn the smoke on and off, and it'll be perfect." So that's what kind of personality we were dealing with. Somebody was paid uber attention to all the details. You know,
I mean, did you like we're talking about those types of things, like Endorphin Machine, the stage set that we were just talking about when Maite was on there?
Yeah.
Did you see any of that being built, or did just you kind of come in one day and show up and it was there? It was like, what am I looking at?
Again, Prince showed us the blueprint. He had drawn it himself. He's like, I want it to look like this. And all I could think was like, it looks like the Salvador Dali's estate is probably going to try to sue you, because it looked like very much like Dali's work. Like all these weird knobs and curves and then this phallic elevator. What I do remember, I'll give you a little tasteless memory just to keep everything even.
Yes.
The mayor of, I think she was the mayor of Minneapolis, Sharon Sales Belton. Like, she'd have events out at Paisley Park from time to time. And we had just gotten the Endorphin Machine up. And she had some sort of gathering, and we played a few songs, and we were standing in the back of the room, in the back of the soundstage. And I don't remember which one of us you realize it's like the mayor is standing on stage, next to an elevator that's shaped like a penis. And we just fell out. We were in the back row, just like, this is crazy. She has no idea what those things are. Those the Endorphin Machine is essentially abstract genitalia.
You're right, exactly. Now, I never went to one of the glam slams. I've never went to one of the locations, but I happened to see a video, and you can find them online if you look for Glam Slam Club. They did it was like some revision of Homer's Odyssey or something. Okay. And there was a woman buck naked. I don't know where the term buck naked comes from, but naked on the
black
wall.
People, I'm sure black people. That's where that term came from.
Probably. I don't know.
Oh, man.
On the wall, letter Xing. And she had like starfish in certain locations or whatever, but what didn't really adequately cover her up. You've been in some of the Glam Slam clubs. Did you remember seeing what's some of the craziest things that you've seen inside of these Glam Slam clubs? I don't even know what that thing that I saw was. It looked like some type of underwater scene. I don't know, but it was really bizarre. I mean,
I'll tell you this: whatever I've seen, nothing can top what these people in body stockings were doing behind us on MTV in 1991 while we were playing Get Off. There was some real stuff going on back there, man.
What did you see? I mean, obviously it's designed to be very what's the movie that it's
Caligula?
Caligula. It was very Caligula.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, it was designed to be that way.
The video for Get Off definitely was. That was some Caligula type. Yeah.
Right.
But I'm talking about when we played and he had the yellow suit on and his,
Right. So what was going on? It was like,
the whole back behind us was just like a score of men and women in body stockings behind this like kind of opaque screen. You can kind of see what's going on, but not really. I mean, I was close enough. A couple of us were close enough to see, but yeah, it's like they really took their job serious that evening. It was kind of soft core what was going on back there, man.
I see some television shows and movies and whatnot that I see on television, and that they're not doing it, but you watch two actors, you can see this is not AI generated. There's two actors and they're not doing it. Maybe it's taped or whatever, but
sure.
You're thinking to yourself, you're still going through that's
we're still on TV and there's censors and there's people paid to make sure you don't do what you're doing.
That's about as close to yeah, right. Yeah, I was gonna tell you either.
Y'all be free.
Who's y'all, Michael?
I didn't know those people. They were various dancers, probably mostly from Los Angeles, from the area.
Oh my God.
and just got told to y'all just get back there and get freaky. You know,
man, that's great. As I'm listening to stories, but I'm also trying to flip through here and make sure that we don't ignore any questions, because I know people are going to get upset. So I'm trying to find.
Yeah, what were some of those mini questions that the one dude?
Yes, here's one.
Yeah.
Oh, this is not a question. It's a statement. I would die for a clean and perfect pro shot Act 1 or Act 2 concert with the Michael B, Sonny, Levi, Tommy, and Morris plus MPG horns, aka the Hornheads crew. You can't tell me that isn't the best band he ever rocked with.
I'm sure it exists. It's hard to say, in what condition it's in, and whether or not Prince would have recorded like multi. He didn't always record in multi-track, So
yeah, I mean
that's why the Glam Slam show was selected. It was the best of the shows that had the multi-track to it for the DVD. But I remember talking to Kirk, and Kirk was like, "There's 4 other shows that are incredible, but and one of them is just too long." But
yeah, I mean, and I was just making sure that I'm. Scott McCullough, who we've had on the show here before, he did the video of. He also did a lot of the video for did all the Diamonds and Pearl stuff, and he did a bunch of stuff. But yeah, Scott McCullough, he did such a phenomenal job with what he had to work with at that Glam Slam Club for that video.
Yeah, didn't he though?
As friggin' amazing as it was, and just how. Like the scene where Prince jumps up on top of the bar and is dancing on the bar, which was not choreographed or a part of the show. It just happened. And he luckily had, just by the grace of God, and obviously, God's favors was on Prince during that era for sure. It was just the camera just happened to be in the right place at the right time. And it's just the whole show was just friggin' magic. And it's just,
yeah. I get nervous every time I see him dancing on the bar like that, because he's he's going
high
all in, man.
High heels too. It doesn't make any sense.
It's crazy. Yeah.
Could you ask Mr. Bland if Prince really was just dressed all the way up 24/7, like perfume, hair, makeup, everything right, no matter the gig, time, or rehearsals place?
Yeah, pretty much. Prince was a star, and he enjoyed being one. So I tell you what, he said Chili from TLC. She came and hung out for 2 or 3 days at Paisley, and Prince said, she asked him, said, "Don't you own some jeans or something? Like, don't you have you got some sneakers, jeans?" And, Prince is like, I'm Prince,
I always hear those stories and stuff. And I was like, there's got to be a day where somebody caught him off guard and he walked up and his hair was all crazy and maybe he had on a slouchy shirt.
He'd always throw a hat on if his hair wasn't done now.
Yes, I just it's hey, Mark Webster's in the house. What's up?
Oh,
doing a great job.
See, we need to have Webb on the show, man.
He's been on a couple times, man. He's great. Yeah, he's been great.
Not with me, and I want to be on with Mark Webster.
That's right. Not without you. I gotta make sure I switch sides, and now I gotta make sure I'm pointing in the right direction now.
All right.
Now I gotta learn how to repoint.
Not without you.
It's almost like the Brady Bunch, but it's so much simpler.
Deluxe release.
We've already answered that question. Yeah, sorry about Purple Nerd. We talked about that. And there's another statement. We need an MPG Gold Experience reunion. Get Michael, Tommy, Sonny, and Morris Hayes. Just do an Exodus or Gold Experience.
It's easier said than done because one major person is missing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, we're not the JBs, man.
Yeah. I know. Yeah. What do you think the reasoning is? For those who don't know, Sonny's the biggest piece of this. And whether or not he's, willing to, what do you feel like we're never going to talk bad about Sonny. It's Sonny. But what do you think his aversion is to like performing stuff like that? Or what is his apprehension? I guess that's a better word.
I think when you're talking about Sonny, you're dealing with somebody who knew Prince from a different perspective.
Yeah.
Like, Sonny and Prince came up together. Like, I think
Right.
when they met, I think Sonny was 16 and Prince was 14, something like that. So you're talking about somebody who knew Prince, everything he went through. Like, this is not just somebody Sonny worked for. You know what I mean? Like, he had a whole different dynamic with Prince, because you know how great Prince thought he was himself. You know,
Rightfully so. Yeah,
but to have Sonny, to have his childhood idol in his band, that's a different kind of headspace. You know what I mean? It's for Prince it was different, and for Sonny it was different. You know, but they could speak honestly. Like, I think that Sonny might have been really one of Prince's only real friends. I'm thinking about it now, because Sonny could be honest with Prince in a way that most of us would not be in moments. Like, Sonny would just say it sometimes, you know. And so you're not just talking about somebody he had, vocational time with. This is a person from his past. This is a person he knew pretty well. You know what I mean? And I think it's emotional for Sonny on a level that it's not for some of us, you know? I mean, when he was on the show with you and me, he did say, he's like, he feels the responsibility to Prince's legacy. As long as there's a need for Prince's music in the world. And Sonny is dedicated to that. But discussing, you know, the depth of his relationship with this person that most of us hardly knew, and he knew quite well, you know, he's vibrating at a different frequency when you start talking about Prince, you know.
Just sitting example, was Kirky J in the realm? I know, yes, they did know each other when they were younger. I don't know how far Kirk goes, but I do know also you were talking about how the freedom of which he spoke with Sonny, and how candid they were. Another person that was like that was Wally Safford.
Okay.
Because I know that, I mean, there's been a lot of documentation of him just kind of really just, you know, he would just dump on Wally and just talk about a lot of private things that, you know.
Oh, sure.
So, I mean, you know, hey, I'm glad that he had some people like that in his life that he could, you know.
Yeah, there are a couple of real ones. Me, I was young and I really wanted to keep my job. So I very rarely stepped out. A couple times I had to, because he took me to task, but I didn't like going there with Prince, because I really believed that I was there for him, you know. Yeah. But sometimes he made it hard to, you know, to function. Like, life be lifing, man. Mm-hmm. And for somebody whose whole life is right there, like, he can pretty much have whatever he chooses to have at any given moment. To tell a person like that no, you know, it's things can escalate pretty quickly.
Yeah, he doesn't.
And I had things in my life I needed to take care of, so I had to sort of like stand on business, you know, and kind of get a little pointy from time to time, you know. But I would never would have disrespected him, you know. I never would have just said my thoughts were very clear. By the time I had to speak up to Prince, I had to be concise and specific, you know. So
well, he had the courage to do that.
He also learned to take me seriously, because I didn't say things that often. So whenever I had something to say, he would, you know, he
knew you felt strongly about it, whatever it was.
Well, yeah, you know,
or that you're at least going to put your foot down on whatever, or speak your opinion on whatever it was.
You know, sometimes people will drive you to that point sometimes where it's like, well, what is this really worth to me right now? Like, is it worth my self-respect? Is it worth my job? Like, you got to ask those questions. Is it worth my, my evolution as a spiritual person? I had a lot of questions all the time. I was sitting behind the drums. We started P Control. And I remember I told this story to you probably before. I looked out, there was all these like kids in the first couple of rows with their parents. I was like, what are we doing here? What is this exactly? I mean, it's not on us necessarily, because we're just doing what we do. But who takes a kid, you know? And, you know, I think that's also, you know, unfortunately, that's an aspect that is going to have to be dealt with, you know, with with Prince's legacy comes a lot of button pushing.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, and people can get really divided over stuff like that. I mean, you know, I mean, I've talked to other band members about it. You know, Des and I had talked, Levi and I had talked. You know, it's a real thing because you're dealing with something palpable. You're dealing with something like, well, you're dealing with something. Music is spiritual already, and then you take somebody who is really like all the way immersed and down in it, and someone who's sort of fascinated with the merging of things. Because, you know, Prince, he played with a lot of light and dark energy. It's all, I'm not telling anybody anything they don't know, you know. So it's like, you know, but there's, you know, it's quantum entanglement is real. And the people you spend time around with, they are having an effect on you, whether you realize it or not.
Yeah, but you never, you know, there was a lot of controversy because he just, you never knew what vibe he was playing with, you know. So that was the other thing too, because he seemed to be that, he seemed to like to play that perfect dichotomy of good versus evil. And he loved doing that. He was like, yes, I'm good. Love God. God's love.
Sure. And that's not really new. I mean, Little Richard kind of did that too.
Yeah, I think, but he just did it to such shocking effect in a lot of different ways. And somebody had done something noted that on his 12 inches on the singles that there would always be like one side would be one thing, and then the opposite emotion would be on the other. And I had never noticed that. And I meant to look at that up, but somebody said, like, you know, it's God, it was on one side and Purple Rain was the other or something. It was just the way that all of the singles were constructed. It was like, you know, one side was dark and one side was light, or you know, whatever the reverse of the other song was. And I was like, I'm going to look into that. I'm going to double check. All right.
Let me just say this, that I'm not even judging it. What I'm trying to say is that it wasn't like he was irreverent necessarily. I mean, I remember one day we were in rehearsal in Studio C, and they were filming Grumpier Old Men in the soundstage, and Anne Margaret just walked into rehearsal like she owned the place, you know. And Prince looked up and he saw Anne Margaret standing by the door, and I could see in his face, because this is the room with the mirrors on the wall in Studio C. Mm-hmm. We did a lot of pre-rehearsal there before we moved to the soundstage, and at that point they were shooting a movie on the soundstage, so we were just in C. She comes walking in. Prince took his guitar off so fast and did the cool jog over to Anne Margaret. Showed her so much.
The cool jog.
You know, the cool jog, you know, where he's not really running. He just kind of, like he's making haste, but he's cool. He's running, but he's cool.
Right. I can actually see him doing it in his head. I can see the loose arms. I can see the loose arms. Yeah, I see it. It's
not labored. It's kind of, it's cool. It's just a little trot.
It's like,
yeah,
I got it.
With the little boots, you know, and but so that's what I'm saying, is that it wasn't like he was disrespectful or went out of his way necessarily to, and a lot of that I've heard him admit in interviews, like some of that was acting, you know, like, you know, he knew he was pushing buttons, you know, but you know, a lot of it was, you know, really heavy, man. I mean, I don't really know if I'm going anywhere in particular with this. I'm just saying
it's okay.
It was a lot to do. And you know, I had all sorts of ethical and moral questions, you know, my whole time there. I grew up in the Baptist church. I love Christ. I have loved Christ since I was a little kid, you know?
Yeah, we need to do an episode about that one. It's going to be a dangerous one, but you know, you and I both being Christians,
we're going to talk about Jesus on the Funkotopia.
We're about what it was like being a Prince, what it was like being a Prince fan, living but living in that world, because especially during the 80s when Christianity was, the Jim and Tammy Faye Bakers and all that stuff.
More
And
majority
it was just so much. And, so when you heard Prince reciting the Lord's Prayer and Controversy, it's like,
yeah. Yep. I was by myself in my parents. I was by myself in my parents' basement, listening to the vinyl version, listening to it on vinyl, and that started up, and I was like, "What the?"
Yeah.
And then I dug in the, more. Oh, there's a poster or something in here. Then that, it's like with the crucifix in the shower and oh man.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Especially the one that little.
Man.
Yeah, the girl that with the plaid skirt on. I think it was 1999. With the plaid skirt on and the cross, and she had the hair down and the spooky. It was just like, oh, and it was, and so it was for sure this wrestling that we had to do coming from religious homes. And it's just like, God, this music is so good, but wow. It's like, you had to be real. It's almost like you felt guilty or dirty just by listening to it, and it was like, so I get it. There's that aspect of it. And I know that you and I are not alone. There's a lot of people that experience that in this chat room that came from the same era and was just like, woo.
I mean, and that was part of the appeal, I'm sure. It's like, I mean, that's why naughty things are naughty.
Yeah,
you're getting a lot of pushback over here from Duke Eatman about like, it wasn't like
duality.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that all the singles were like that. The person that I read they gave a few examples. And I was like, oh, that is true. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, like, not all the singles. There was not everything had that duality, but like the song Girl. A lot of people don't know that, but if you play it backwards, it's an entirely different song with a girl singing in the background that sounds, it's backmasked when you're listening to it regular, but if you play Girl backwards, it's a song called Boy, and you can hear her she's doing a whole poem called Boy all the way through the entire song. And a lot of people don't realize that there's so many of those little weird things that he would do, and he loved doing it. He was a master of it.
That's crazy, man.
You did not know that. And actually on the Funked Up app, actually on Uptown Radio Plus, I actually play the version of Boy as a song on that radio station. So you'll hear Girl, but occasionally you'll hear the song Boy, because I'll put it backwards and played it on the show. So
all right. Well, school me, cool, man. Thank you, Mr. Christopher. I had no idea.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. Tons of crazy stuff out there. Yeah. All right, we got a few more questions that we can get for you folks, and then we'll so before we call it a night. Miles asked, especially people that have not asked questions yet. Miles says, "What did Michael do if he wasn't feeling his best before a Prince show where he had to bring it on drums, or does he remember one?" Sounds like you got a bunch.
I have one in particular, which is like we got to I don't know if I want to tell this story.
Oh, go ahead. Even better, you haven't told it before. This is great,
man. You know what? We're all being real. People do people things. People pee and they poop. And
yes, right.
They get intestinal issues.
I'm doing it now.
Yeah. So we get to Japan and we have about 4 or 5 days off, and I get caught like a stomach virus or something. So I was in my room for probably 3-4 days, just like not wanting to leave my room because I had to be near. I had to be close by, man. And that was also like within those days. At some point, that was when we recorded Willing and Able. The original version of 5 Women, Strolling. Yeah, those were all the same recording session in Japan in 1990 in September. And so I, by the time the show started, it was like, okay, I was feeling pretty good. And I thought I was cool, but like somewhere during the encore, like I felt the bubble up, man.
Oh no.
And I was like, thank you, good night. It was, I can't remember where that show. We were in Japan. It was like maybe in could have been in Yokohama, maybe.
Oh,
but it was like
you're fine. Those little Asian girls will hose you down. You're good.
No, don't say that. My wife is Korean, man. She'll pull me right off your podcast. No funny business. Don't you insult Asian people on this show. Anyway, long story short, it was thank you, good night. And I don't know if I've ever ran anywhere so fast in my life. I ran back to the, the backstage area. And I was like, man, I don't believe I have to do this in one of these Japanese toilets where you got to put your feet.
Oh, no, I hope not. Did you?
I was like, if I got to do that, man. And then I walked around a little more and I saw at the end of a long line of Japanese toilets, Western style. And I went down there, and it was immaculate because who's using it?
So you made it, though. You made it.
I made it, yes. And it was, it's a shame what I did to that toilet, but oh man.
I can't remember. I've had
now we're all officially tight. You did not need to hear that story. I'm sorry, folks.
I'll help you out. I did one performance. Of course, I was definitely not as famous as you, but we were performing at a show. It was a pretty packed show, and I was not feeling well, and we hadn't even started the show yet. And I came out and I was checking the mic and making sure all the percussion stuff was everything. Yeah. And all of a sudden, a wave of nausea came over me, and I had a cup. I had a literally like a big gulp type of cup. I don't know why it happened to be on stage, but thank God it was. And I'm standing on stage, and everybody's kind of starting to look up on stage because we're about to go on. And I just turned around and I just like threw up in the cup.
Oh man!
It was like trying to like make everything just normal. And I set that cup down and took a swig of water and came out and did the show. But I was just like,
you got to do what you got to do, man. So I don't care if anybody, Michael Bland's disgusting telling these stories. Like, hey, it's real. Performances, it takes everything. People don't understand. It's like time stands still, like you got to not drink too much water before you go on stage because you'll have to, if you got to pee in the middle of a 90-minute set, it's going to mess with you.
Oh, absolutely. That's, let's see. Sidnick here says, do you recall any tapes from the vault that was pulled out for recording? Did you notice of any tape had denigration or I guess degeneration or whatever you
damage? Maybe is that what that
probably so. I mean, do you remember pulling any tapes from the vault and saying, "Oh, this is starting to not be good"?
We pull tapes all the time to source for samples, but it was usually no, it's stuff that went back. Like we pulled Lady Cab Driver, we pulled Alphabet Street, like stuff that was on reels, like was on tape.
Now I know we have heard. I don't remember which guest it was, but we did have stories of people saying, "Yeah, I remember seeing some tapes in pretty bad shape because they were exposed or to air or whatever."
Yeah, I do remember when they were preparing for the hits, the B-sides package. That was when they discovered all the damage. They looked, I think, For the Tears in Your Eyes was the first one. It was like they opened the case and it was coming apart, and somebody was like, "Don't touch it," and they took all of these, they looked and found more tapes like that. And the way to minimize the damage is to cook them in a kiln, like a ceramic oven.
Wow. Really? That seemed like it'd be the worst thing you could do. I guess you have to be like a really specific temperature and a really.
Yeah, no, you have to be a pro at it. Just like slicing tape. You don't just let anybody do it. They got to know what they're doing. There's rules, there's levels to this.
Yeah.
So I guess I did know about that, and I was like, well, I wondered what they were going to do. And then some engineer there at Paisley told me, "Oh, it's easy. What do is you put them in a kiln and you bake them, And so they got to they got a lot of it. They fixed a lot.
Man,
yeah.
Does Michael remember the controversy convention in 1992? Lisa Leboff says.
I really don't. Sorry.
Yeah, they probably all run together after a while.
Not so much, but I mean, the success ratio was so high that I only really remember the things that went wrong.
Speaking of sickness, Sanders says, was Prince ever sick in the middle of a concert? Do you remember him?
Yeah, I do remember him taking a cortisone shot a couple of times before a couple of shows. But what's funny is it didn't stop him from doing an after show. He just didn't sing. He was made Rosie sing or somebody, you know.
I've been to a couple of those.
Yeah, where like, because the doctor was like, don't sing, don't talk to anybody, you know. Like, you actually, it's more stressful on your voice to speak than it is to sing. So,
I've seen that happen at a Hit and Run tour. He did I went to one of his after parties, and that's where that was the first time I met Jerome Benton. And yeah, he was gonna perform, but I guess he decided, I guess, what it's just, sometimes he did, sometimes he didn't. That's
and then there's the, obviously the time when he was out on tour with Chaka Khan and he did the splits and he messed up his hip, Yeah, there's that, so I mean, yes, Prince had maladies like any human being.
Yeah. Here's a couple statements back to back. One from Miles. It was a drummer for a Prince tribute act called Erotic City for 3 2-hour shows in a week in LA a few years back with no click track or backing tracks. I nailed it thanks to Michael inspiring me.
Well, all right. At least I'm good for that. Inspiration is not, if I can inspire anybody, that's, I feel all right about that. My living has not been in vain.
Jody Comenzo said, this is another suggestion. Speaking of drawings, would love for the estate to have an exhibition of P's artwork, even if they're just doodles, would make a great book as well. Yeah, it was cool to see the book of guitars. That's always really, really cool if you're a guitar aficionado. But yeah, I really would like to see a book, kind of like what they did for, it wasn't Welcome to America. They kind of included some of his handwritten stuff and whatever. And I just love seeing stuff, seeing his creative process. It doesn't matter if it's on a bar napkin or if it's ever and the way that he wrote was so fluid. I mean, if I write fast, it's like chicken scratch. It's horrible.
No, he was so masterful, man. He had the steadiest hand, and he could freehand sketch. Like he was very, I mean, he did that. He did it very well. He drew whatever he wanted that he couldn't describe in words. He would just draw it, basically. All right.
We got 3 more questions. One of them's a twofer. We'll start with that one first, and then let's start with this one that just came in. And we'll stop here. But Jason, have you ever seen Prince so emotional that he cried?
Well, I don't know what to say about this because I didn't. I guess the question, to answer the question directly, I don't believe I ever saw that. I want to say that the day Michael Jackson died, Sonny was at Paisley. I was in upstate New York recording with Daryl Hall.
Nice.
Yeah.
Very cool.
With Daryl Hall, John Fields, my friend John Fields, the producer from Switchfoot. The Jonas.
We got to get John Fields on the show because we got to get him on the show, man.
Well, then you're going to watch him and me talk about music like 2 12-year-old boys.
Perfect.
It might get on your nerves, man, because we go all the way.
I'll be so into it. I love watching.
I'll ask him.
Yeah, I love watching.
But Sonny said, somebody came in and told Prince the news, and he stood there for a minute, and then he just came, and then he just left. He just left the room crying. So
I know there was a lot of witnesses to him crying when he found out that Vanity died on the Prince Piano and a Microphone tour. Sure. And he got up and actually cut the show short. I think that was an Australia show, if I remember correctly.
I believe it.
But that was a lot. So it's been a lot. All right, here's the twofer. I'm just going to call you Neff for short. For Michael, 2 questions. Would there be enough unreleased material from the post Diamonds and Pearls era, Love Symbol through Gold experience, to put a major super deluxe edition of the Act 1, Act 2 era? Well, that's the first part of the question. We'll do that one first.
It's difficult to say because Prince worked on, it wasn't like he worked on a song at a time. There was always something being worked on. So the question really, it depends on the level of completion. You know what I mean? Like generally all we heard were things that were finished, things that he was planning on putting out. And if we recorded something and I never heard about it again, I didn't know what happened to it. I mean, we recorded all night with Maceo and Greg Boyer and this dude Ray, who's like related to the Booyah tribe, trumpet player, bad dude. We cut a bunch of stuff.
Is it Ray Lamontag or whatever is the guy's name? I can't remember that. Maybe think of another Ray.
So. This dude, I mean, I think he might have been Hispanic, but he had braids like the Booyah tribe, like those
okay.
people.
And not same Ray.
Yeah.
There could be. It's basically there. Most likely there is. This was a very, very prolific period of time for Prince, and even though there weren't like a bunch of like releases that were coming up crazy, he was constantly recording. So I guarantee you there are dozens and dozens and dozens and dozens of songs that are back there that are probably pretty close to completion, even in the jam form. Because when you look at Chaos and Disorder, or you look at the Undertaker sessions and things like that, I mean, those things happened relatively quickly and didn't really require a bunch of touching up. So to think that there wouldn't be the same type of scenario, or at least equivalent type material from that era, there's got to be.
That's part of the reason Sonny and I ended up on so many recordings with Prince. We learned quickly. We learned fast. And, it left him more time to focus on other details. Like I think that was the main reason that was how I ended up on so many recordings, was he'd be like, I just need, hey, can you come out here? Somebody, he tell somebody to call me and get me out there. And, it was,
that's cool. That's nice.
And I was happy to do it. I mean, sometimes it was just me and him watching Last Tango in Paris, eating popcorn for like, an hour. And then you go, we're not going to record anything, man. I'll see you at rehearsal. Sometimes it was that. Sometimes we got into some real material. Prince and I recorded just by ourselves. Often. A lot of the time, it was just me and him.
I'm going to throw a question, and we'll get to a second part of his question. Well, we'll go ahead and do a second question, but I got a quick question. I'm going to try not to forget it. But his second part of the question was: there's some songs on 2009's Lotus Flower that sound a lot like you and Sonny. If so, when were those recorded? Wall of Berlin, Okay for You, Boom, maybe.
I'm trying to remember the year, but I mean, when did
2009? It would have been 2008 when it was recorded, or maybe 2000.
Yeah, I mean, we're on a bunch of songs on Lotus Flower. Like
there you go.
Colonized Mind, Wall of Berlin. I'm trying to remember all the titles, but I mean, it went like we cut like probably 10 songs that night.
Yeah, and I think you can obviously go to I'm going to pull this up right now, but for whatever reason, there it is, Lotus Flower. Let's see. Yeah, you can go to Prince Vault and obviously see this, but Michael is on the drums for From the Lotus, which is the opening track, Colonized Mind, Love Like Jazz, Wall of Berlin, and Back to the Lotus. And those songs were pretty much primarily recorded. Like Wall of Berlin was, most of those songs that we just named were from November of 2004 when they were recorded. It says were recorded in November 2004 during a 3.5-hour session with Michael B on drums, Sonny T on bass at Paisley Park in Chanhassen. Also included in that session, I guess, were they're just talking about that some of the tracks ended up on 3121 and Planet Earth. So
that's what I'm saying. Yeah, we recorded probably 10 or 11 things, but we didn't know what he was going to do with what. So
right, exactly. Yeah, you never knew. I mean, you think of all the different configurations that he had of every single album. It was just like, good Lord, man, this man never stops.
Exactly.
All right. Exactly. Last question in the hopper that I have here: do you still have that big hat that you used to wear?
No, first off, it was hats, plural. I had one for every outfit, and no, all that stuff got butchered like from the just constant 1 hour martinizing and dry cleaning, and in various countries under various circumstances. Yeah, no, all those clothes were ruined. You know, I probably have a couple of hats I used to wear casually from that era in my closet, but nothing that you would have seen like on stage.
Yeah. So not the big, not the massive. What do they call it?
I got a couple massive ones. One's like yellow and purple. Like it's the hat's mainly yellow, but then there's like a purple edging on it at the top and the bottom. And I have another one that might be black and white. I haven't looked for them in a while, but the one I think I might actually still have that was in a video would be the one I wore in when we shot like Willing and Able and Call the Law. I had like a short black hat with a red piping. That one I wore a lot because getting in the limo with all this with the Kentucky Fried Chicken bucket, that was hard. I had to cock my head try to get in the limo.
Oh my God! How do you get to stay on your head? It seems like it would always fall off.
I just didn't rock too hard, man. It just kept me kind of, No, man,
that's crazy.
Yeah.
Oh my God!
It was a time. I ran a small African country back then. Yes. Yes, she's your queen. To me. Yeah.
I'm gonna guess what your favorite movie is right now.
I don't know. It's been my favorite. It's not my favorite now, man. But
what's your favorite movie now?
Oh man, wow. I don't know, man. I mean, I'll just go whole hog and just say this right now. I've seen Aliens twice in 2 days.
I don't think I've ever watched Aliens all the way through front to back.
It's incredible. You ever seen like Terminator 2?
Yes.
It's the equivalent. It's like from the first movie to the sequel, it's as much of a blockbuster as it was from like the Terminator movie to T2 with Arnold and the Guns N' Roses on the soundtrack and all that. It's the same quantum leap. I think it's incredible. But what's been tripping me out, I'll just throw this in because this happens to be a current phenomenon. Have you seen that show that show Adolescence on?
Yeah, we were talking. I started watching it. I haven't made it to finish the first episode yet because I was talking to you about that it was a single shot, and we started talking about it was a single. It's shot using one camera that follows the entire. It doesn't break up into scenes. It's like one camera that happens to be in the right place when she gets in the car and gets in the car when she's in the car, and it's just one camera, long camera scene. But have you made it all the way through it? Is it?
Oh yeah, man. It's anybody out there, I would say definitely see that. That's twisted, but it's awesome.
Man, I'll have to check that out.
Yeah, please finish it, man, because it's pretty heavy. I mean, we don't have to, like Netflix needs us,
Yeah, I've been going in and kind of re-binging shows that I had already watched because the new seasons are coming out. Like, for instance, The Chosen. I don't know if anybody watches The Chosen, but it's the story of Jesus, and it was redone by this guy named Dallas Jenkins, who did this re-envisioning of Jesus' story that is just fantastic. It's so well done. And it's called The Chosen, and you can actually download the Chosen app, and it's like a whole thing. But the new season that covers the Last Supper and obviously his crucifixion and stuff is coming out. Another Christian one, House of David, is phenomenal. It's on Amazon. It follows the story of David from the time he was a kid and a shepherd, and it's going through till the battle with Goliath and stuff, which comes out. The final episode comes out this Thursday. So a couple Christian ones, but also on a totally different note, Gangs of London. Watch that because that one has got a new season coming out, and there was something else that I watched that has a new season coming out too. But I love doing The Last of Us. That new season is coming out also. So all these ones that have new seasons coming, I'm like, I'm gonna re-watch them, so I'm not got to be in the mix.
Otherwise, I could just
we can talk.
I watched Napoleon Dynamite this afternoon. So.
Oh, that's a great one. That's a classic.
It doesn't always have to be,
Make yourself a quesadilla.
Yeah. Boyfriend. He was all surprised his grandma had a boyfriend. Boyfriend.
Oh my gosh.
Stay at home and eat all the freaking chips, Kip.
I got to rewind.
Your sensei. It's just it's endless.
I mean, yeah. Now also help put Jamiroquai in that mix too, because
that's right.
Yeah.
When is he coming on the show? When is
Oh yeah. Stuart Zender, who was the original bassist for Jamiroquai, we are scheduling a show. He's going to come on and he's going to talk about those first few albums with Jamiroquai. So yeah, Stuart Z is coming on. We're fixing. He's working on his solo album right now. I guess he's finishing up some stuff. So we're trying to strategically work that out so that we can kind of help cross promote his stuff. And so
yes, absolutely, that's great.
Basic.
Okay, well, all right. Well, that's all.
Yeah. For those that missed the very beginning, thank you first of all for coming on the show and hanging out with us. We had a great time. Thank you for My Tape for dropping in as well. That was really, really cool. That's a little bit of a surprise.
That's all right.
For those that missed it, you need to go to facebook.com/Funkotopia because there is a huge giveaway that I'm doing. It's pinned at the top of the Facebook page, facebook.com/Funkotopia. You can win a set of Prince vinyl and collectibles, Laserdisc collectibles. There's a bunch of packages. I'm not going to go over the whole packages thing, but you're looking at all three packages in one photo that's right here, and it's broken up pretty strategically, but check that out for sure. Enter that. You can read the post and how to see how you can win it before this Tuesday, April 8th. You better get your entries in as well. Also, again, the Funkotopia shirts are available right now. Funkotopia.com/shop. You can get them, the ones that I'm wearing, as well as in a variety of different colors as well. And of course, we also have Uptown Radio Plus shirts as well. And there seems like, and of course, make sure you sign up on patreon.com/Funkotopia. If you're not a member, sign up, because not only are you going to get double the entries into that drawing that I was just talking about, but on top of that, you also get access to a radio station that you can only get as a Patreon subscriber. And on April 18th, we're going to be playing all of Prince's music in what we're calling Prince Transition Celebration. We're going to be playing all of his music in alphabetical order from A to Z. It takes 4.5 days to do it. It's over 1,200 songs, and it's ASCAP licensed. And but you only listen to this and coming as a Patreon subscriber, so you can only do that. And then lastly, but not leastly, we're going to be on Tuesday, but for very short, just to do the raffle drawing, maybe do a little bit of free for all if something funky comes up, like, they start selling tickets to the celebration or something happens where we figure we got to come on and talk about it. But as it stands, we're taking next Tuesday off because on the 15th, we'll be playing for you. Mono Neon is going to be on joining us. Actually, we're going to be pre-recording this interview, and so Mono Neon will be on April 15th. We'll play the interview for you on 15th. It's not going to be live, but I will put it out there on Facebook, just like I did with Thomas Dolby, where if you have any questions for Mono Neon, please make sure you go ahead and get them. And do not even bother asking about Black is the New Black, which is the album that he worked on with Prince. I guarantee you that will be one of the first questions that I ask him. So Mono Neon, we're going to be, he'll be 15th. Man, we did a lot tonight.
Yeah. How do you feel? You feel all right?
Yeah, I feel fine. Yeah, I mean, it's been good. How about you? You feel good?
Yeah, man. I think we covered it all. I think. Well, actually, I was just gonna address that thing somebody was saying about the Ultimate Live, whatever that is. That apparently is what they were calling the Gold Experience tour and so on. And so
oh
on.
Yeah.
95, 96. I talked about that with Maite. That Gold Experience tour was crazy. So hopefully you got everything you needed to know about this Ultimate Live experience, whatever that is, man. Yeah, all I knew was to show up for work. I didn't know what they were calling it.
I mean, every single time, I mean, even if it's like the smallest happenstance, every single show, every performance had to have a story attached to it. Like, oh, that was the day that these chords didn't work in the middle of the show, or the cymbal cracked in the middle of a show. Those little types of little bits and pieces are the stuff that, we as Prince fans, we just want every single aspect of everything that happened from different angles and different views. And again, that's why it's a blessing to have you on the show, because hopefully some people ask questions or we talk about a topic that sparks some of those memories. And the more that we can fill in those blanks, man, the better, because it just kind of helps to push Prince's legacy forward. Yeah.
And doing it in this sort of conversational sort of mode, I think is best, because also we can stick and move. We can cover more ground,
Yeah. And that we do. we covered a bunch.
Yeah, we did some real hoofing tonight, man. I'm exhausted. I'm knackered.
Yeah, all right. So we're going to go ahead and cut you guys loose. Thank you so much for tuning in tonight, and we'll see you next Tuesday to do the drawing real quick. And if any topics are there, that's fine. But we're only going to just come on to do the drawing next week, because that's when I promised I would do it. And then we'll see you on the 15th for a full show with Mono Neon's pre-recorded interview. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I'm Mr. Christopher. That is Michael Bland, the man. We'll talk to you guys later. Have a good one. Good night, everyone. Get out of here. Go to bed.
Yeah.